bring you a special report.
Welcome to episode 45 of the Global Gang Podcast. I am your host, Alec Hunter, joined tonight by AnthonyJMo.
Hello.
TystraDaisetsu.
What is up, my dudes?
And our guest this evening, you guys know part of the reason we do the Global Gang Podcast is to reach out to these smaller creators and give them a platform so that way they can maybe experience a little bit about that bump in growth. So I'd like to introduce you guys to SillyNolar.
What's up, guys? I'm a small YouTuber, just tiny compared to everyone else. So I'm so grateful and fortunate to be on this platform.
Aw.
So you guys can follow Nolar on YouTube. He's also on Twitter and also Twitch, all under SillyNolar. So easy to find for you guys if you are on Facebook or YouTube. Links are in the description below. Hopefully on Twitch I have a mod that's going to set that up for us. You gotta like how I do that.
Yeah.
I see.
So before we jump too far ahead in here, I do want to get our interview out of the way. So Nolar, if you've never seen the show before, we asked first-time guests the same 4 questions. We judge them very harshly, so just no pressure. So
that's okay.
First and foremost, how and when did you get into Dokkan Battle?
May of 2016. The reason why I remember this because I was just graduating school or dental school, as you guys know, I'm a dentist. And I was like, all right, I got a lot more free time now, so I can do some stuff, play some games and whatnot. And the first thing I was looking at was in the App Store. Like I had played a lot of puzzle games in the past, so it had recommended Dokkan, and I was like, oh, I love the Dragon Ball Z. This looks like a puzzle game. Cool, let me check it out. So I downloaded it and was like, all right, this is pretty fun. Not too difficult and fairly casual. And I played global first. So in May of 2016, I was a global main for, 4 or 5 months. So I went through all of that, made it to the first year anniversary of global. And I don't know if you guys were playing around that time, but that was bad. That was not a good time. Yeah.
Heard the horror stories.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys were aware of it, but that was the first time. Well, back then we didn't have to disclose rates. So, or like the probabilities of getting stuff, right? So, Gogeta, Strength Gogeta was 3%, like featured SSR 3% pull rate, right? But they, at the time, because they didn't disclose the rates, we had, I think his name was Laughing Man. And what he would do is he would just re-roll accounts and then get the stats of what he ends up pulling and puts like a chart out. So in the first couple of days, it was like your usual 0.5% or whatever for the featured unit and 3% rates. But then they started to lower the rates, dynamically speaking. So as the time went on, it got harder to pull Gogeta. And back then, we had 3+1s, right? But they weren't like 2 weeks long. It was 3 days, literally 77 hours for the 3+1. So after the shaft that was Gogeta, and again, no GSSR. Like this is like a whole ancient time that I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, no, I've been there and done that myself. I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah, it took me 120 multis to pull Gogeta.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So then that's what I was like. Okay, all right, game.
To pull a single copy.
I didn't pull a single copy till 120 multis in.
Holy crap!
So, what is that at like? So obviously you were pay to play, right? Then.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I popped my free to play cherry within like 30 minutes of the game because I was like, oh, like I downloaded it and I was like, all right, I see these banners. Like I played gotchas before, but I wasn't like that big of a whale. Yeah. But I was like, okay, I'll let me check this out. And I see the first banner, and this is the banner that I pulled on. It was I think it was the Int Vegito, like like the old one, the base one, the nuker. And I was like, oh, okay, he's got to be good. It's a Vegito, right? Like I had no knowledge of the game whatsoever. And I was like, all right, I did 3 pulls. I got nothing. I'm out of stones. I don't want to wait an hour to farm, so let me just go pull up the credit card and see what happens. But anyway, so yeah, that's how I popped my cherry for free to play there. So yeah, anyways, the long-winded story. Started in May 2016 on global. I moved to JP because I think in October of 2016 is when they announced Buhan, and I was like really jazzed because I like Buhan, and then the way the team set up is like full heals, just eat all these orbs, you heal all the time. And the team comp was like, all right, mono int seems pretty cool. And I just dove in and never looked back since then.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude. That's like naive me.
I've heals, spent, just like eat all these orbs.
I spent like $400 when I first started playing for Super Vegito, the AGL one, and I never pulled him. I was a stupid kid. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm here. I got $400 just laying around, like, birthday money and stuff. I'm like, Dokkan, here we go. It doesn't get Vegito, and it was the same way for me with Strength Gogeta too. I don't think I spent money for Strength Gogeta, but I don't think I got him until Strength Cell release. Like my very first copy was way back then. I ended up getting him on a single on Strength Cell's banner, and I was like, damn, dude, it took me this long.
Yeah. Yeah, gotcha rates back then, they were rough. They were rough.
They were something else.
Yeah, I mean, dude, when we called dead multis were literally 9 Rs and an SR, because you were guaranteed at least an SR or higher. So like, yeah, or like the infamous Super Saiyan 1 screen crack. I mean, not screen crack, but just Super Saiyan 1. You're just like, all right, well, I just chucked away 50 stones. Okay.
I don't miss dead multis at all.
No. I mean,
thank God we're back to, or that we're here at Guarantee.
I said we're back. Holy shit!
No. Sorry. Kind of like, we're here.
All right. So, next question, and we're aware that this does change. So, at this current moment in time, what is your favorite unit in Dokkan?
Favorite unit? Yeah, like you say, it's all about, at the moment when you ask. So at this moment, I really like physical transforming Frieza, Angel Frieza, a lot. Yeah, he's just the utility is so good, and I like big damage numbers, I do, but he just overall does so much, and he like boosts the hell out of Resurrected Warriors with the 4 key lead. I mean, it's huge. So he's my favorite unit right now.
Right on. And then everybody has an opinion here. So what new features or units would you like to see added to Dokkan Battle?
Okay, so units come and go. I mean, they'll come up with something, and it is what it is. So they're like, I want an LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. It's going to come at some point, whether it's 6 months or 6 years from now, if the game's still going, like, who knows? But more importantly, you said features. I'd like to see like a more like the raid boss is back, but maybe a little bit structured differently. Because I like cooperative play, like I really do. I'll grind my ass off for like cooperative. If like we're all working to a common goal. Some of us, like, I can carry stuff. That's fine. Like, I like doing that. So I would love to see the raid bosses back. I was hoping it'd come back for every like major celebration, but they've been sitting on their asses for the last year or so. So yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even get a raid boss for the most recent worldwide celebration.
Yes, and that kind of baffles me because like that would have been easily like it's a super simple thing to do, but it's still content, right? So
right. What's that?
Content. What's content?
Sorry.
I'm not sure.
So I'm sure the obvious answer here is yes, but do you have any upcoming projects or videos that you'd like to promote while you're here?
Okay. So being the small YouTuber that I am, the biggest thing, as you guys may or may not know, a bunch of us have collaborated together and have made a whole new brand entity, whatever you want to call it, but it's 5-9 Gaming, and the whole goal of that was, we're all gamers at heart, right? And we all came. Right now, our shared common goal is, Dragon Ball, Dokkan Legends, whatever the case may be. But we, came from a different set of gaming background, and we still love games in general. And so the whole point of 5.9 was just to get us together and talk about stuff. Like, we do still talk about Dokkan and Legends, but we want to expand our horizons and check out and discuss many different facets of gaming altogether. So some guys love console gaming, which is great. Some love PC gaming. Some guys love card games, or they love Dungeons and Dragons, or role playing, LARPing, whatever the case may be. We wanted to use that as a outlet for us to discuss anything that interests us in terms of entertainment and gaming. And so we just started 9-10 weeks ago. We're going pretty strong. Very happy with our progress, but lots of work ahead of us. So the biggest thing I wanted to plug is 5.9 Gaming. We've got a Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, everything you can think of, we're there. So find us if you need to, and hopefully you'll see something you enjoy.
Right on. And then I was just looking up to make sure I had it right, but we are going to give you that shout out. Oh, it's because I have too many exclamation points. I'm so good at my job, guys. All right, there you go. So shout out in Twitch to 59 Gaming. It's actually 59 Gaming 1 on Twitch, and I believe on Twitter as well.
Yes, on Twitter too.
Yep. So make sure you guys follow them. They put out amazing content. Like, they literally have something up like every day. Didn't you guys just add like 7 deadly sins?
Yeah, it'll be up tomorrow. We're gonna have a podcast for 7 Deadly Sins tomorrow with Mystic Watch, Speedy, who is a former Dokkan content creator, and Nagato, Senpai. Everyone should know that if you're familiar with that. But yeah, it's going to go up tomorrow. So there's always something. Like I said, it's varied content, the different gacha games. But of course, we've got console guys. We're going to be covering Cyberpunk 2077 next week. Lots of things going on. So I'm sure there's something there you could find that tickles your fancy. So by all means.
Absolutely. All right, so moving on to a little in-house update. You guys know we've been talking about this every week. Rev Central is hosting a charity week-long event to benefit DirectRelief, which is currently using their organization to help with COVID-19 relief. So from December 18th to the 24th, I will be streaming here on the Global Gang podcast channels every day with multiplayer games for you guys to jump in. You can play along with us. And of course, we will be keeping an eye on this right here. The goal is $5,000. And if you are on Facebook or YouTube, the link is in the description of the video. If you are on Twitch, I will throw that in the chat right now.
He's throwing it like actually
like hardcore, right there, slapping it around. So it's a great organization, guys. I've checked them out. They are ranked really high by I can't remember the name of the organization that checks charities, but they've been winning awards for like the last decade and a half. These is a well-established charity, and they're 100% transparent with where their funds go. So you can be absolutely sure that the money you're sending is going where it's supposed to go.
Facts.
All right, a little weird segment for us, but since we do have a guest who plays JP, I figured we would talk about some of the new stuff that's going on the JP side of things. So let's jump in and talk about the new Dokkan Fest exclusive Bojack. So Bojack is the Space Traveling Warriors leader, Key 3, Stats 170, or he is a Time Travelers leader, Key 3, Stats 150. Raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage to the enemy. Passive skill, attack and defense 100%, and then Space Traveling Warriors category, allies Key +2, attack and defense +30% when facing 1 or more enemies, plus an additional attack and defense +10% when facing 2 or more enemies, plus an additional attack and defense +10% when facing 3 or more enemies. His active skill, he transforms, which can be activated when facing only 1 enemy starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle. Link skills are Heraclan, Galactic Warriors, Big Bad Bosses, Thirst for Conquest, Coward Revival, Fierce Battle. Categories are Resurrected Warriors, Movie Bosses, Full Power, Transformation Boost, Time Travelers, Terrified Conquerors, Inhuman Deeds, and Space Traveling Warriors. When you do hit that transformation, his super attack becomes raises attack and causes immense damage to the enemy. That is an unlimited stacking attack. Passive skill is Key +3, attack and defense +180%. Launches an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack, plus an additional attack +30% and defense +15% when attacking with 3 or more key spheres obtained, plus an additional attack 30% and defense plus 15% when attacking with 6 or more key spheres obtained. Doesn't look like his link skills change at all, and then of course categories do not change either. Since you've had experience with this unit, you want to tell us about him, Nolar?
Yeah, so I've had a couple videos up on my channel playing with him just strictly as a lead as Space Traveling Warriors. He's really good. Is he as good as Cooler? Because he pretty much everyone says he's a copy paste of Cooler. He is and he isn't, because to me he's a better support than Cooler is, because he supports his entire category, which is Space Traveling Warriors, throughout the number of enemies. While Cooler is actually, he has the 2 categories, right? If you're facing 1 enemy, it's transformation boost. When it's 2 or more, it's terrifying conquerors. So he's a little more versatile, or I guess a little more helpful in terms of supporting his team. But if you decide to transform him on like a longer event, yeah, that guy, he does damage. He just does damage left and right. I mean, infinitely stacking attack, chance to get triple supers if you get the passive to go off and his potential system to go off. And you probably want to stack more additionals than crit, because he stacks, right? So that's pretty good. Yeah, I think he's like right behind Cooler. Not exactly on the same pace, but just a little bit behind him. That's my opinion on him.
Yeah, I mean, I really like these support leads. I think it's a fantastic thing for the game, because it pretty much guarantees you've got 2 support going all the time.
Mhm.
Yep.
And they don't tend to suffer from the typical support issue where, like, okay, he doesn't really hit that hard because he's support. No, this guy's a tank and a damage dealer, and he's a support unit. I love the meta of the game right now.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. And then the most important thing is, like, power creep's inevitable in gacha games, or just most games in general that have like services, long-term services, because they need to incentivize you to keep pulling and spending money, right? So power creep's going to happen. Well, what's great about him is, no matter what, may be someone who hits harder than him, but he will always be useful because he is a support. You know what I mean? So it's the same statement I made about Cooler last year. It's still relevant. Like, there are people who hit harder than Cooler now, but guess what? He can support that team, and those guys hit even harder with him. So I think it's fantastic, because the other like end of the spectrum is you've got physical transforming Vegeta, who leads one of the best categories in pure Saiyans, but nobody wants to run the category because throwing transforming Vegeta off rotation is pretty useless, right? Like, nobody wants to run that. So if they, again, this is like when the units come out, it's all about the state of the meta. If he came out today, physical transforming Vegeta, or whatever Vegeta they wanted to make lead as pure Saiyans, I would imagine they would make him in this style of pre-transformation. He's a support. Post-transformation, he hits hard or tanks very well. One of the two. So yeah, it's I like where we're at right now. Honestly, I do agree with you on that.
Tystra, you have any thoughts on this guy? I know you haven't used him, but just on paper.
I haven't used him. Pen and paper, it's just that he's that amazing. Like, this, as Nolar explained it, it's very Cooler-esque, but the difference is that, he does have that better support. The one thing I wanted to touch up on is his category in general. And man, this category is pretty freaking stacked. Like, I'm just looking at it, and LR wise, you got the Turles that just came out on JP, you got Jiren, you got the weirdest one, and I know why it's there because obviously it has to be there, but even B-Pan, I was like, wait, B-Pan's on this category?
She was on another planet when she put that costume on.
No, and I'm saying is, like, it threw me off for a second. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, but B-Pan? But yeah, you got so many good ones. Obviously Cooler's on this category, that's already a plus for me because I love Cooler.
Yeah.
And then just in general, like, all the good units that you could have, like, you have Int Ribrianne, which always a great support card in general. And then that AoE Frieza AGL is really good in its own right. You got the OG AGL Turles, which hasn't aged too well, but still gives that 50% buff. Like, there's a lot of good stuff you could run in this category to make this pretty much a top tier category, and I'm sure like on JP, it's pretty much become a top tier category just from a few of those listings right there.
Yeah, it's super versatile because like there's God Topo, when he with his EZA, he's fantastic. I ran a full Space Traveling Warriors on Extreme Strength ESBR. It was a Dokkan Fest event. That's how good that team was. Granted, okay, it's me, so I've got everything rainbow, and I've got I'm gonna call it out there. Like LR Turles was rainbowed, and I got the TUR rainbowed. And like I brought Cooler, I brought the LR Prime Battle Frieza, who freaking blew my mind. Like I had ran him before, but with the setup that I had, he was hitting attack stats of like 7.7 to 8.5 million.
Jesus.
Like he was literally one-shotting people, right? And I like two-turned every. I think I two-turned every single stage. All 4 stages, I did it in like 2 turns. Finished it in under like 9.5 minutes, which is the fastest I had ever done it. Just lots of support, and they link up really well. Like it just was phenomenal. But then using Bojack himself linked up with other Bojacks, because really, yeah, the reason why when he transforms they give him 3 key is like the rest of his kit, like his link skills, they only link up with Bojacks or like Heraclan people, right? So if he doesn't have those links activated, he's kind of struggling for key. Right, so that's why they gave him the 3 key when he transforms, so he can easily super. But like when you link him up with Bojack units, like even mine's not even level 10, all link level 10 yet. But right out the gate, he started at 4 million, and at the end of the event, maybe 10 turns later, he was like had attack stats of 9-10 million. So yeah, he's good. I mean, I can see where the comparison is to Cooler. He's got a similar kit, but he's a little different because he also has that extra 3 key. You get 3 key orbs, you get 30% attack, 50% defense, 6 key orbs. Like that's similar to Cell. The Int LR cells, the strength cells, when he got his EZA, they're all like that. And it makes a big difference. Now, what that means is you probably want to run him with an orb changer on the team. The only downside I could think of for the Space Traveling Warriors is there are not many orb changers. Off the top of my head, maybe is it Gokua? Maybe Gokua is one, but
I think Gokua might be. I could double check that.
But you don't. I mean, it's Gokua. He's an SR that became it. Like you really don't.
Yeah, he changes AGL to STR.
Yeah, so the only thing is like you probably want, if you want to maximize Bojack on a team, you want an orb changer. Like maybe physical Beerus if you're facing against Rainbow Gods. Sure, he'll give you some rainbow orbs, but like there's really not many people on this category that can support him that way. So that's kind of the one downside.
Have you, by chance, I want to run this rotation on you. Have you, by chance, been able to do the double int LR Bojack, so the Bojack team and then the TUR with the STR Bojack?
Yep, I did one video of that. It's really good. They share 4 to 5 links. Obviously, the LR has legendary power. The Dokkan Fest doesn't. And the SGR has Coward, which obviously the LR doesn't. And what's the other link they're missing? Oh, Fierce Battle. Like the LR has Shattering Limit. This guy has Fierce Battle. Fierce Battle was huge because I would see a drop off of like 500k to 600k if I didn't have Fierce Battle, right? So you put them on rotation. You probably want to put the SGR one in the middle. So whoever's floating, if they have Fierce Battle, can link up with the SGR Bojack, right? The Dokkan Fest one. And you put the LR in the first slot. Because usually you'll have enough defense to get through it, unless it's a physical unit beating up on an in unit. Probably not the best idea. So,
right.
But that it's phenomenal. Like that's a good rotation. The Zangia, the new Zangia, which I guess I could transition us to the next part. She's really good too when linked up with Bojack because she awakens from those Dokkan Fest medals, so she gets Fierce Battle. So, yeah.
All right, and before we jump over to Zangia, I actually do have a question. Maybe one of the 3 you guys can answer this for me. Why are like Brienne and Rosie and Kakunsa on this team? Have we seen them travel through space?
Yeah, they travel through space to serve justice and the power of love.
Yeah.
So a lot like the Pride Troopers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Except for they're for justice and one's for love. I get
it. Can I please be killed for having that come out of my mouth?
No.
Moving on to Zangia.
I need Jiren to just come over and just.
No, we're good.
No,
we're
we're
good.
not doing that. We're not doing that.
All right, so Zangia is the Space Traveling Warriors sub-lead category. Key 3, stats 120%. Super attack causes supreme damage to enemy, lowers attack and defense. Passive skill, attack and defense plus 30% per Space Traveling Warrior category ally on the team. Launches an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack when there is an ally whose name includes Bojack attacking in the same turn. And attacked enemies, attack and defense, minus 20%, recovers 10% hit points at the start of turn. Link skills are the Hera Clan, Galactic Warrior, Battlefield Diva, Brutal Beatdown, Revival, Shocking Speed, and Fierce Battle. Categories are Peppy Gals, Resurrected Warriors, Time Travelers, Terrifying Conquerors, and Space Traveling Warriors. And any love that goes to extreme tech is good in my book.
Yeah, that's a lot of debuffing.
It is.
Yeah, the only downside to her though is everyone like you see extreme tech and you're like, oh sweet, I could run her on that team. Problem is she gets all her stat buffs from Space Traveling Warriors.
Yeah.
And as we looked at the category, extreme tech, there's some units you could use, but there's not a lot of good ones. Like you'll probably bring Raditz on an extreme tech run on an ESBR, but are you gonna bring hit?
I did.
Probably not. I mean, okay.
Why not?
Why not? No, but
a bad time.
Right, but I mean, it really comes down to like our boxes on global don't have
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, but hit did save my butt in Extreme Super Battle Road. I'm not gonna lie about that.
He actually did for me as well, which is
interesting.
Weird.
Okay,
maybe
I gotta run that.
It's the stun. I mean, if he doesn't stun and he gets hit, you're gonna have a bad day. But if he gets his stuns off, it's happiness.
Yeah, that's true. You make a good point. But anyway, so getting back to Zangia, like when she's linked up with Bojack, she's triple supers pretty frequently. And just lots of good stuff, right? She's just super utility, right? Lowers attack and defense on super, but also attacking a unit. So if you don't even get a super off, attacking you can debuff them. Recovering 10 HP at the start of turn. I mean, she's just straight up utility. I'm gonna have to try her on Extreme Tech Super Battle Road where there's like little to no Space Traveling Warriors and see how she performs. But we'll see that.
Yeah, and I really like the card art for this Zangia. Like she's a side character from a movie who gets literally, used as a body shield, but I like the art they used here.
Yeah. It's a good way to give the character some proper attention.
Yeah.
At least it's not her dying out or getting pushed by Bojack.
It's funny. I was half expecting that scene to be the active skill. Half expecting it. And so in my mind, I'm like, I'm just waiting to see her face, just like in shock and horror when she gets uses a meat shield. But no, we got the clothes rip off and hey, full power Bojack. Okay, not bad.
All right, so you guys have any other thoughts on Zangia before we move on to the next victim of our analysis?
No, nothing so far. So I'm good with her.
So, as cool as those, of course, that had to come in.
Come on, it's my gal.
Right? How'd we get through Peppy Gal unit without a nut button?
Right.
So, I think this next unit we're going to cover is probably the most exciting of the ones that we're covering from JP, at least in my personal opinion. Just because I still think EZAs are absolutely the best thing this game's ever done.
Absolutely.
Facts.
So in Super Gogeta is coming, or has already come to JP. I'm terrible with dates. Coming in 5 days.
Yeah.
Okay. So 5 days, you guys will get this unit. He's a Super Int Key 3 stats 130, Extreme Int Key 3 stats 90%. We're pretty much used to that. We don't currently know what he's going to be capable of as far as his super attack and his passive, but going off of what they had before, they have all kinds of room to work with.
Oh yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you,
Or Strength Gogeta, dude.
Nolar, I think
Now-
you've probably spent more time analyzing this game than anybody else on the panel. Do you have an inkling of an idea of what they might do for this guy?
Okay, so I mean, I made a couple of, well, one video, but I have a lot of thoughts on this because so Super Gogeta, there's 3 variants, right? You got the STR one, this int one, and then of course when the physical one actually transforms or fuses and transforms into Super Gogeta, those are your 3. And the way I like to approach this is, you look at what they've done before. So you look at like Rose, right? You had the AGL, you have the Strength, and you have the int one. So they all share the same name, so you can't obviously bring them all on the same team. You have to pick one. Now, what I'd like to see and what they have done is they've made specific use cases of each one. So before the AGL one got his EZA, he was like a hard hitter, support / hard hitter. Because when he came out in 2016, 17,
yeah, 2017, I think.
he was the first unit to get 100% attack unconditionally. And that's where I was like, oh wow, the power creep in this game. 100% attack unconditionally is crazy, because before that it was like Super Saiyan 3 AGL Goku, who got 700% attack, but it lasts for 7 turns, right? So what they ended up doing with him was they made him a defensive support who can hit relatively hard. So if you need that kind of utility, you take the AGL one. If you just want a straight out support who can debuff, you'll take the STR one. And if you just need someone to kill things, you take the int one, the LR, if you have it, that is. So what I would like to see them do here is make specific use case for the int one, right? Because if they make him exactly like the strength one, why would I ever bring the strength one, right? Other than like my box, I have him rainbowed, and the int one, I only have 1 dupe or something, So in my mind, I looked at it that way. I said, we need to have a defensive Super Gogeta. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see, like, when fighting against movie bosses, guards against all attacks, or probably like movie heroes, 1 key, like 15% attack and defense, fusions, 1 key, 15% attack and defense, like a little extra support added to his kit. He's going to hit hard. He's going to lower attack and defense, right? He's an int unit, so he's got already 5 dodge, and maybe more if you give him more. But I just like to see him be defensive. Like, greatly raise defense upon supering, and then, maybe he needs to, every time he attacks, he stacks more defense for another, 20% every time up to like 80%. Give him 120% attack and defense off the start of turn, plus the stacking, plus maybe guard if you're facing against a certain type of enemy. Like, I would rather have them make him more the defensive kit, because the problem is, like, Fusion ESBR on JP, it's rough. It's not easy. Like, I don't think you can no item run it now, because just Fusions itself doesn't have much tanky units. Now, when I say that, of course, I got int Go tanks, and then now we have the new int Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, but they can't just, like, turn 1, take a super, and not take a ton of damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those categories, and like movie heroes, they have a couple of those kind of units, but hey, more options is never bad. It's the one thing I always say. So I would like to see them make him more of a defensive unit in my mind.
Yeah, I'd like to see, like you said, like a 120 or maybe even 130 attack and defense flat right off the get-go. And then I wouldn't even be upset if they made it where, based on the number of key spheres you pick up, you get additional defense. I would be okay with that. But yeah, that's my one problem, I think, with this unit as a whole, is that, I mean, he can do some damage, especially with effective against all types, but he doesn't really do well when it comes on the receiving end.
Oh no,
Yeah.
No, not at all.
he takes attacks poorly.
JMo, what about you? You got a wish list for things you'd like this guy to do?
Not make me use him over Strength Gogeta. I mean, I struggled so hard to have Strength Gogeta, and I was like, dude, I think I rainbowed him before I ever rainbowed Strength Gogeta, so I was just like, god damn, dude. I mean, just based off of what he has, he already lowers attack and defense, so I don't know. Personally, I feel like they're gonna make it maybe 30% for 3 turns. They're probably only gonna buff it by 10% on that. I don't know, maybe for me, like, I like that Nolar, like, went through a whole, like, scenario of what he would like to see. I'm gonna just take it from like a realistic standpoint, in a sense. Like, obviously the wishlist thing, I could say, give him everything that I would love to see on every unit in Dokkan. But I feel like realistically, they're probably only going to give him like that extra 10 on his lowering attack and defense for his super attack. And I do agree. I feel like he should have like attack and defense plus 120 or maybe even 130 off the start. He should still have, like that effectiveness against all types. I also feel like he should at least have more ki as well. More like ki and attack based on the fusions category. Like, I feel like something has to give here where he's going to benefit the team as well as himself in a sense. But with easy A's, it's almost hard to pick. If I had to say anything like what I would like, I don't really know. I feel like Nolar just hit the nail on the head with everything that could make this unit way better than what it is, especially for the way the power creep has been in this game. Like, it would be more beneficial. But I don't know. I'm still excited to see it just when it comes out. But I don't play JP either, so
Right.
I'll be waiting 6 months even after it comes out.
It's all
6
good.
months. You're optimistic, man.
I know.
I mean, we're talking about easy A's, dude. Easy A's are like a minimum of 8.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Or forever if it's
Taylor Khalifa.
Rip, dude.
All right. So Tystra, anything on your wish list of abilities for this character?
Well, I mean, already I can already say that at this point, it's obviously going to keep the attacks effective against all types. It's going to get at least 120 on attack and defense. Like, that's pretty much a given. I would like to see it as a fusion support because I think that they could really use something like that, especially when fusions is really like, it's good, but for some reason, like, when you think of the top teams, you're not thinking about fusions, and Gogeta being considered the ultimate fusion doesn't seem very ultimate,
Yeah.
So, I would definitely like to see something with defense, obviously, because I hate taking this guy into anything.
So I have a weird pitch question then for all of you guys. Would it be a far-fetched idea that they'd give him like attack and defense? Like, obviously in a super attack, he would lower attack and defense by 50% for one turn. Would that be considered an easy A? Or that like kind of devalue the unit? Obviously, they'd have to make it up again in his passive skills somewhere. But
because right now it's what, 20% attack and defense lowering on super.
Yeah, for 3 turns. But if they were to make it higher, I feel like wouldn't they make it less turns? Especially if they're going to go for a number like 50. In a sense,
massively lowering attack and defense. Yeah, they could do that. It just wouldn't add too much more value because, like, I'm just looking at him through all of the, like, because he's great on Super Battle Row if he got some defense, right? You just give him a little bit of defense, he'd be great on Super Battle Row. But does that really translate to like a longer event where you can't lower their attack and defense, right? So, like, doubling down on lowering attack and defense on a super doesn't feel like a good upgrade for an easy 8. Like, they could absolutely do that, and they'd be well within their right to do it. It just would be, hey.
Yeah, I don't think they would. It was just like a random thing I thought about. Just
so like, just out of curiosity, could they do it? Yeah, they could, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I just would be disappointed like hell.
All right, my apologies, Tystra.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah, really, all that I would really want is an upgrade in defense because he desperately needs it. And I would say some sort of support, whether it be movie heroes or fusions, with me leaning more towards fusions because I would like to see. I would like to see the return of fusions being like top 5 team. Like, I haven't really seen what Gogeta can do, the new SSJ4 Gogeta, but I still hear more murmurs. Like, I hear more about Giant Ape or Great Ape, whatever, than I do fusions from that. So I definitely want to see fusions kind of be back up there as a top contender for top teams.
Yeah, and it's still the team I use frequently. like even as bad. Well, I wouldn't say as bad as it is. It's for me. It's fun to use. Like
Yeah.
it was like like back then. It was my first ever complete team that I had for categories when they introduced categories. I was like, oh, dude, I finally have a full fusion team, and that just holds the sentimental value for me. That's why I still run fusions no matter what. But no, I agree. They definitely need to find some more unique way to make this guy, buff fusion support, because it does kind of sadden me that they kind of fell off a lot.
Yeah. It's the best way I could put it, like, I guess in another way, is like, I don't know if you guys played Yu-Gi-Oh a lot.
Oh yeah, of course.
I used to do tournaments, and back in the day when Dark World was like the biggest thing, that's what I was running. And I was all Dark World. I love that deck. I tried like years later to run Dark World at a local, and I got murked.
Oh
so
yeah, dude.
Bad.
I used to use Yodalock, which was a little like 200 attack monster that your goal was to eliminate your opponent's hand, use Yatagarasu to attack them so they could never draw. And once they had no cards in their hand, it was an immediate GG.
Yeah.
So I'm just
one
curious.
Of my favorite decks.
Is this what we sound like when we talk about Dokkan when people who don't know what Dokkan is are listening?
Yes, exactly. Why did you get lost in the whole Yu-Gi-Oh lingo?
Pretty much.
I could have said something along the lines of Genshin. Like, would that have been done?
Well, it would fit this show's secondary focus, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so another thing I'm excited for is the Whis and Hachiak are getting their awakenings.
Thank God.
They've already gotten their awakenings on JP.
Yep.
So Whis becomes agility type key 3 stats 50%. A super attack causes supreme damage with a medium chance of stunning the enemy. I believe that is a 30%. I was going to say 50, but I was wrong.
For 2 turns.
For 2 turns. Passive skill, key +2, defense plus 100%, plus an additional defense plus 20% with each attack performed up to 100%, and a high chance of launching an additional super attack, fully recovers hit points, and great chance of evading enemy super attack, including super attack, when HP is 30% or less once only. Link skills are Godly Power, Shocking Speed, Connoisseur, Gentleman, Brainiacs, Cold Judgment, Shattering the Limit. Categories are Realm of God, Siblings Bond, Bond of Master and Disciple, and Space Traveling Warriors. Personally, I feel they did a pretty good job updating this unit. At least it makes it feel like he's more relevant now.
Yeah. I still need to finish this unit.
Yeah.
I have not finished his hidden potential. Well, I need the paths still, but I definitely, this was like one of those few units that I back in the day, like, obviously, much like the Global Gang podcast is always an advocate for saying if it's free to play, farm it. I had the biggest problem when he first dropped to even get him to drop. Same with Hashtag. Like, my Hashtag's not even SA10. I think he's still SA1.
Drop rates are ass.
Yeah, no, and I've always loved this. I always loved this Whis unit. So, like, I would take him quite frequently back in the day just because of what he was able to do. Like, for the meta back then, he was like one of the most decent free to play units to have, at least at some point. No, I feel like they definitely did. They did this unit justice, which is nice. I always appreciate good Whis cards, and that other Whis that came out with Beerus, the Strength Whis. Oh my god, dude.
Yep.
I wish I had him. But I definitely am hoping that, with this awakening, I don't know if they plan to, but hopefully the drop rates for Hashtag and this Whis are a lot better.
Well, judging by the drop rates on the medals, that's a big fat no.
Dang, I'm sad.
It took me a full stam bar to get his medals, and I have 319 stam. So took a lot of runs to get 7 medals just to awaken him. And same with Hachiak. I think Hachiak was like a bar and a half, actually. So yeah, I haven't played with him. I just got him awakened like yesterday, but I haven't had a chance to play with him. But based on what I see, it's pretty good. The downside is he just doesn't have any attack boost at all. So he's just super defensive, right? Key 2, defense 100% at the start of turn. When then each attack reformed, you get up to 100% defense. And then high chance of evading enemy attack, but you gotta be below 30. So like he's more defensive than he is offensive, which is fine. Sometimes you need those units. But yeah, again, I haven't played with him though.
Yeah, he looks really good. Especially that's the thing is like I'm trying to look at it from a free to play standpoint. Like this is a very good free to play unit.
Yeah.
This is a very, very good free to play unit, especially for the categories that it's in. So
yeah, this to me is like the perfect Whis card. You never really see him fight in the anime. Every time you see him training with Goku and Vegeta, all he did is dodge. So I mean, this is like the perfect representation of what Whis was like in the anime, just in Dokkan card form. Just stack him, just stack his entire kit with defense.
So, fun fact: on my original account, this was my first rainbow unit.
No kidding, dude. That's actually really cool.
Yep, I was struggling to beat Super Battle Road, the Extreme Strength Super Battle Road, and I'm like, you know what? This guy stuns and he dodges, so
I actually used him too.
I'm gonna try this, and it ended up working. So, but less exciting, I think, is Hachiyak or Super Hachiyak. He does become all types key stats 30%. He raises attack for 1 turn, causes supreme damage to the enemy with a super attack. Passive skills attack and defense plus 60%, plus an additional attack and defense plus 30%, up to 90% at the start of each turn when there is a pure Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans category enemy. Recovers 40% hit points at the end of turn when delivering the final blow. Link skills are Hatred of Saiyans, Berserker, Tough as Nails, Big Bad Bosses, Infighter, Fear and Faith, and Shattering the Limit. Categories are Artificial Life Forms, Revenge, and Crossover. It's a good thing he got that crossover category, or else he'd be a trash unit.
He's still a trash unit.
Well, you know, two categories equals trash unit. You guys know the rules.
Hey, no, we've already went over this. Didn't I say it in the last podcast? We had a unit that had like 18 categories. Not actually, obviously, but I still called him a trash unit.
So I do find this funny with this unit. That, and maybe it's just because of how I look at it, but he doesn't have the movie bosses category, and I understand why, but I also don't agree with it because technically that was a movie.
I also don't agree with delivering the final blow. Did he ever do that?
Wasn't he a cutscene villain from a video game?
Well, no, there was an entire movie on him.
Oh,
like he was like the final battle, basically. But that's my point: is that technically, you know, the Bardock special was a movie, and he's on Movie Heroes, I believe. So that's where I'm kind of confused. I'm like, huh?
I mean, in the movie, was he ever Super Hachiyak?
I think
because I don't even remember seeing it.
Honestly,
like
my only experience with Hachiyak was watching cutscenes from, I want to say it was Raging Blast 2.
Yeah, it was Raging Blast 2.
Yeah.
But it was a full movie thing that you could watch. Like the start of the movie were all the smoke, and you know the smoke villains were like Cooler, Frieza, Lord Turles. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is like it's just weird to me that he didn't get movie bosses technically under the circumstances of like, you know, say Bardock who got
he definitely fits the profile to be in movie bosses. I'll give you that.
I'm gonna make sure of that before I like start spouting that off though. Let me double check.
No, you're good. I mean, I feel like I don't know.
But
how is he in crossovers? Like, was it because it was a crossover with the game?
No, it's a special. I mean, I think Hydros, I'm reading the chat here. He's like, Hachiyak never made it to the West. He was only in Japan. So that might be why some people are confused. Like, I've never seen him before. Like, I don't know who he is. So I remember watching that movie or special or whatever you want to call it. But they've used all the specials as crossovers, right? So like,
okay, so that makes more sense.
Yeah. So
appreciate you clarifying.
I get that and I understand it. It's just more so I was like, huh. And now that I'm looking is Bardock is not considered movie hero, so I guess specials are excluded from that. So I take back my statement. I'll
is Bardock and Guinea on there though, or
Bardock and
yeah,
Gine
they
are
are.
in
Well,
Mega
yeah, 'cause
Heroes.
that's a movie.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna
That's a
say
movie.
they better be on there.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, but that was an official movie. Bardock special
Yeah.
was a special. So I guess, like I said, I take back what I said. But
Yeah. No, but I mean, Hy just makes a point. They wouldn't put him in movie bosses unless that movie made it to a global release. But since it was only in Japan, technically speaking, he's not. That's why he's not in movie bosses.
Right, that
Yes, that makes sense. So
Yeah.
But
Poor
besides
Hashtag.
that, like the unit's okay as a free to play. Does that 40% HP recovery, is that final blow on the whole entire turn? Like
Per
going
enemy.
So per
Yeah.
okay, so this would be, I mean, not the best unit to take an SBR, but you could use it and then use that to get your 40% HP up every time you kill an enemy, so long as he's the one delivering the final blow.
Yeah, but his stats aren't great. He's free to play, so you got to really like.
I was about
Micromanage
to
it.
question. I was gonna say extreme super battle road question mark.
Hey, you know what? It's a challenge. I might try it myself. Maybe.
But yeah, other than that, like it's kind of meh. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it got an awakening, and I'm glad that it's usable.
Yeah, at least to some extent. I just had to
Yeah.
give him shit because when I heard Alex say he delivered the final blow, I'm like, did he ever actually?
No.
I don't remember if he killed anyone in his movie.
I don't think
Like
he
No.
did.
legitimately.
He basically did one last blast of 15 seconds because that's how long he can last.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
So on that
What?
fantastic note, we're wrapping up the JP section of today's episode. We're going to jump in and just really quickly, I'm going to run down what's ending and when it's ending so that way you guys don't miss anything. You have literally 3 hours to complete some of these. So
Fuck. I'm kidding.
Unparalleled Paragon of Hope and the Terrifying Transform Majin Dokkan events, the Go Forth Hero of Justice story event, the Hero Extermination Plan Easy A, Turbulent Start World Tournament Reborn, Evil Revive Most Fearsome Majin, the Showdown Ultimate Final Battle, Dragon Ball Super Future Trunks Saga, the GT story events, all ending in 3 hours, 4 minutes, 46, 45 seconds. You can see the countdown. I'm going to stop now. You got a few more days for the Super Dragon Ball Heroes stuff that goes away the night of the 7th, night of the 8th, or morning of the 8th, whatever. So 4 days, 3 hours from now. And then other than that, we've got a couple of things that end on the 11th. We've got the Legendary Super Saiyan story event. And then there was something else. The Super Saiyan 3 Broly's Extreme Z Battle. So everything basically is ending within the next 8 days. Most of it's ending tonight or in the next 4 days or 5 days. So if you guys are missing anything from any of these events, make sure you get them done before they go away.
Preach.
Facts, dude. Facts.
Let's talk about this banner. Because this banner is not going to look like this at all. At least I don't think it is. Based on what we've seen from the in-game reporting of what Dokkan events are returning, I didn't see Beerus's Dokkan event, I don't think, in the listing. I did see Blue Kaioken Goku. Actually, why don't I just boot up my game and go to the news and we'll look at it. But yeah, usually, I mean, I shouldn't say usually, every time a unit comes back on a banner, we get their Dokkan event back. So, like, let's say, I don't think I saw Evolution Vegeta's in the list.
Mhm.
Yeah, but he still might come back. It's possible.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, anything's possible, but just going off of the data that we have right now, I'm 99% sure this banner is going to change. Like,
Well,
and
yeah.
change pretty drastically. Sorry, I should have had this ready to go.
No, it's
No,
all
you're
good.
And by the
We're
way,
just having a grand old
we're
time
live.
with Nolar.
day 508.
Congratulations, you won.
More than halfway there.
Well, here's the thing: you need the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken medals to awaken the UR to an LR, TUR to an LR. That is.
Oh, okay.
And same with the Blue Evolution Vegeta. Same with Jiren. So it's 35 of the new event, 14 of Blue Kaioken, 14 of Blue Evolution Vegeta, and then 7 medals from Jiren to get them to LR. So,
But like for example, 3 Dokkan events that are coming back are Future Gohan, the Super Saiyan Future Gohan, the Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and Kid Goku. All those events are coming back, and none of them are on this banner.
Yeah,
So,
your banner's gonna look real drastically different.
yeah, it's going to be massively different. Let's see here. Who else was listed on here? I think those are the only 3 that were on there that I was like, wait, they're not on the banner.
That's big yikes.
But who do
That's the banner.
who do you change out in this banner in that case? Like,
Well, if they're not bringing back Beerus,
UI Goku. Hot.
if they're not bringing back Beerus, we can kind of assume that they're going to change that out. And sadly, the latest option that I see is going to be Future Gohan, and I'm not particularly happy with that change. I finally pulled Future Gohan, so I'm cool with that. He's a decent unit, but compared to Beerus, I like Beerus more.
well, yeah, and I believe this is the physical future Super Saiyan Gohan, not the
Not the
tech
int
or not the
transform.
int base form one. So
Yeah.
it's an
Well,
even worse
I mean-
option to put on the banner, in my opinion.
Very,
Well,
very
yeah.
true.
But they also come from that same event,
So
or they awaken from that same event.
Also, I
So
really
it's
miss
possible.
that AGL Goku, I'm not gonna lie.
So somebody just pointed out, Vegito Blue Yosha pointed out that Beerus's image is still in the Dokkan Festival or banner, so like in the in-game news. So Beerus is safe.
Okay, thank God.
So what if now follow me on the craziness here. What if they don't put both the transforming units on this banner?
Yeah, big W.
Yeah, it would be, but I still miss AGL Goku. I'm one off of Rainbow. It would be nice to get him. I mean, I guess coins too.
I've got mine rainbowed.
like,
I just
not
want to start
a lot.
working on my secondary copy.
Oh,
I
because
just-
you're going for the TUR, non-TUR.
Well, because he infinitely stacks his defense.
Yeah. No, I
So,
know.
yeah.
Yeah,
You guys know me.
just keep him reversed forever.
But yeah, so given those 3 units, you've got the physical Super Saiyan Future Gohan, the tech Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and int Kid Goku.
That just sounds like
It seems like
That
really
sounds
weird
like
units
hell.
to swap things out for.
hell. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like when it comes to the synergy of the banner, like because I try to look at it like that, not what I want. Otherwise, like I would just cry me a river on this one.
Well, yeah, you'd be like, hey, dude, remove Gobros, give me LR Kefla.
No. I'd want
I'm
to keep
teasing, I'm
Gobros. I would
teasing.
remove UI Goku, Transforming Boys, AGL Vegeta, Jiren, and Golden Frieza because I have them all rainbow.
Right.
But I don't know. Like it's very weird to see Future Gohan, SSJ4, Full Power Goku, and Kid Goku to even possibly be on this banner. Like it's very strange to me. Like I'm all about synergy. That doesn't scream synergy. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
At least with all the other units, they're all tournament power except for the Transforming Boys.
But even then
So-
they go blue. So you can
Yeah,
weasel
but
it
even
in
then
there.
they go blue. Yeah. So
Well, okay, so what is speculated to be the next Dokkan Fest after this banner? So like in January. Is it Frieza? Is that what you guys are missing?
It would almost have to be Frieza.
If January's Frieza, the physical transforming angel one, the angel Golden Frieza is going to be on that banner. So that one could easily be taken off here and replaced with one of the 3 units you mentioned. So I mean, but like this whole banner when it first came out, I was like, oh, it makes sense. They're all like TOP units minus the GoPros and Beerus, but
yeah.
everyone else can be considered technically TOP, so that makes sense. So in your mind, like yeah, making it mostly TOP would be fine, but if they're just trying to reorganize the banner to make sure that like some units are coming back who haven't been back in a while, yeah, throw out the transforming boys and then Angel Golden Frieza, and you throw those 3 other units, and you more or less have a different banner.
Right. Yeah, everybody's already said already. I'm sick and tired of saying the Transforming Boys. I'm tired of it. I can't.
Well,
Yeah.
either way, we know almost for a guaranteed fact that this banner is not going to look like this when it comes out in the next 4 hours.
Yeah.
So, but what is coming? Oh man, that didn't work.
Aw. Sadness.
Oh, it's
Oofer.
because they've updated the names from when I made the show
Oofer.
notes. Give
Is
me
it
just a
the
second
unit
here.
itself, or
Yeah. Well, no, because they update the names. So like
yeah?
they had it before where it was whatever the Japanese translated was, and now it's the actual official English translation. But anyway, we've got Beyond Boundless Power, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, Kaioken, and Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Evolved Vegeta. That's a lot of words in one character's title.
Might just go off
Facts.
the screen.
So, so they lead all-out struggle and joined forces. Categories: Key 3, Stats 150. Super attack for 12 key is greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes colossal damage to the enemy and lowers attack. 18 key greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes mega colossal damage to the enemy and lowers attack and defense. Passive skill are attack and defense plus 70% plus an additional attack and defense plus 7% per key sphere obtained. Chance of performing a critical hit plus 7%. Key plus 2 and launches an additional attack up to 3 additional attacks within the turn per rainbow key sphere obtained. Active skill gives them key plus 24, attack plus 70%, and defense minus 50% for 1 turn. Can be activated when hit points are 50% or less once only. Link skills are Super Saiyan, Godly Power, Warrior Gods, Kamehameha, Tournament of Power, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. Categories are Universe Survival Saga, Realm of Gods, Pure Saiyans, Full Power, Representatives of Universe 7, Joint Forces, Kamehameha, and All Out Struggle. My initial view on these guys is that they're probably not going to hold up very well in the long run. They feel like they're very conditional, especially if you don't have a rainbow key provider for them. Again, Nolar, you've had more experience than we've had with these units. Would you say that's an accurate assessment, or?
Yes, 100%. The biggest issue is like you're pretty much going to use them. All Out Struggle is a category. I hate to say it, but like they're just not. It just doesn't feel good to run them there. Joint Forces, we obviously needed a Dokkan Fest exclusive leader, and they are that, which is great. But other than like the lead that the categories they lead, you'll probably just run them on USS, Realm of Gods, and Reps of 7. And the problem is Reps of 7 and USS don't have a lot of like rainbow generators at all. So it's kind of rough to get them those additional attacks and stuff. So with using those categories, which is where I generally use them, the biggest problem is you're going to have to like think way ahead where the rainbows are, and you're like, okay, well, so this unit's not going to take those rainbows because I want to save those for these guys, right? The blue boys, in order to get them those extra attacks, because those extra attacks are really, really nice because they already have that extra 7% chance to crit per rainbow key sphere, so you're just adding more stats for them for that. Like this was one of the units that I was really struggling to figure out what their potential system breakdown was going to be, because it's like some are very obvious, like, oh, I'll give them all crit or I'll give them all additional. This one's like you kind of want you want them all because you want to make sure they crit on those normal attacks and on the supers, and you want more supers because they raise their attack and defense and they debuff the enemy severely. So yeah, I don't know. It's a good card, but it's just like you said, Alec. It's very conditional how you're gonna run them.
So, if I'm reading this correctly, so you get your normal super attack, and if you gain the rainbows, you can get up to 3 additional attacks in the turn from that.
Normal attacks, yeah.
And then you still get another attack from your hidden potential system.
Yep.
Okay. So really, you don't need to invest as much into these characters because they're going to have essentially up to 4 chances each turn to proc that additional attack at the end.
But at the same time, if you manage to get 5 rainbow key spheres,
you already have a 35% crit.
Chance crit. Right. So you're just like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you need to. It was a little weird for me to figure out how to do it. I went down the middle with both of them for me, and it worked out because usually, you'll probably get 2 rainbow key spheres on average with these guys. If you don't have a generator, so that's okay. But then it's only 14% crit, only a couple additionals. But yeah, basically it's just the fusion of, you know, the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken card and the AGL Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, like both their kits merged together is what this card is essentially. And that active skill is pretty ridiculous. Just the extra 70% attack, an automatic 24 key, but the 50% defense, people like try to downplay that. It is pretty big. I'm not gonna lie, because even if you use like an aider right after you use the active skill, you're still like, your defense is still decreased compared to what it was before you used it. So they can still take an attack, but obviously you don't put them in the first slot. You put them in the middle slot if you're going to use the active skill. So they at least have a chance to raise their attack and defense to kind of compensate for it. But it's a cool looking animation. They're a fun card, but very conditional. And that banner sucked, man. That's all I have to say. Just banner sucked.
Yeah, no, and a lot of people mistake that when it comes to like, oh, well, I could use these percentages to go up. Like, people have to consider, like, yeah, when you go down, like in this instance, 50%, you're going down 50% of what you currently have.
Yep.
So, like, you know, let's say 50%, or to make it easier, let's say you have 100 defense. 50% of that, you lose that, you're going down to 50. Then you use an aider to regain 50%. Well, you're only gaining 25 because you're taking 50% of that. So to make up or even do more than that, you would have to do multiple defense items to get that back. So yeah, it looks cool. the concept's cool. It's not something that I'm gonna like pursue like crazily. Like I want a copy of it just for collector's sakes. But I don't think this is going to be the first banner this year I'm not going to really wail too hard on, or it doesn't feel like it. So, I mean, yeah.
So is this the part where I tell you I'm skipping everything in December?
Hey man, good on you, dude. One thing I can say to add on to everything, it is an LR. It's got a dope ass card art. Don't chase LRs.
Well, don't make me.
Unless you're a super whale, I wouldn't chase LRs.
I mean, Dokkan Fest exclusive LRs, I think, are a little bit better because they do appear in generally better banners with a better pool of units featured along with them. And they are available for red coins. So if you do go in on the banner, at least, you know, it's not like you're dumping massive amounts of money into a gold coin banner to eventually maybe get one of those LRs.
Yeah, that is very true.
And to those people out there, with this, you know, Gohan and Goten, the Go Bros come back on red coins. So if you're still missing out on those, honestly, that's the better unit to be hyped about, in my personal opinion. I love Go Bros. I think that unit still holds up.
Yeah, imagine not having Go Bros. Oh wait.
Ooh, dude.
Yeah, Go Bros are a phenomenal unit. And if you don't have them, you know, pick them up with coins to help pad you out with all the categories they're in. Like, they're phenomenal in every category they're in. They just take a little bit to ramp up, you know, a couple turns to get them going, at least for me. But once they're there, they do some damage. So, yeah, this banner, again, I mean, if you guys don't know, I went this is the worst shaft I've ever had on a banner, ever.
Dude, it was so bad. I felt so bad watching your vids.
I think it was you and DeTruth that really had the worst drafting on there.
Well, what made it worse was like all the JP whales were getting rough on this. Like Calc, she had a bad time. Not as bad as I did. Like Truth, I think it took him to 12K. It took me to 16.5 to finish them off.
Jeez.
And, you know, let me just tell you, 15 Vegeta Blue animations, 14 of them were Go Bros. Just wasn't.
Oh, that's a rip, man.
Yeah. I just 14 times I lost the coin flip. I was like, really? Can't just throw one freaking bone my way? But anyways, look, the Tanabata banner, which is what this was for JP, and then this is your Christmas banner, I guess. 10 featured units, they're not easy to pull. You know, you'll pull a Super Vegito animation, and then you're like, oh great, I'm gonna get a featured unit, but there's like 10 of them. So you could pull your 50th physical transforming Vegeta, or your first time your GoPros. Like, I mean.
Yeah.
I love how you put it. I love how you put it, but you have to be honest because it's literally how it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do agree. I mean, I would love, as much as I would love to finally rainbow AGL Goku, of course, like if I were to take a crack at the banner, I would more than likely would love to see myself finally pull Go Bros or even this LR just for the sake of having something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, everything else for me kind of just sits on the fence of being like, okay, do I really care for this unit? Because most of them are rainbowed as well for me, except for like Evolution Vegeta and that HGL Goku, I want to say. But everything else pretty much is already there. But I don't know.
That art is pretty, but
it is.
I think their SSR art is better. I think of the 3 arts that they have, I think I prefer their SSR art the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, the SSR art looks really cool. Except I will say that the TUR
yeah, the TUR is kind of nice.
The TUR art's good.
But, yeah, I like that one too.
For some reason, I don't know why, but Goku's hand to me looks derpy when he punches like that. It doesn't look right.
It's like he's sticking a knuckle out even further. It's like I'm intentionally trying to split your muscles.
No, he's like, yeah, pound my fist.
That's a little funny, yeah.
Give me some pounds, Jiren. Lol.
Goku is like hardcore dirty fighting right there.
Yeah. So.
All right. So also introduced with this banner is going to be Krillin, which you guys know, best character in the entire franchise.
Krillin!
So he is a Reps of Universe 7 sub-lead, key 3 stats 120. Solar Flare times 100 is his super attack, causes supreme damage and lowers attack with a high chance of stunning the enemy. And the animation on it is just awesome. I love the animation for this attack. Passive skill, attack and defense 180%, and medium chance of evading enemy super attack, including super attack. Key +2, plus an additional attack and defense plus 120% when your team has Android 18 attacking in the same turn. And attacks effective against all types when the target enemy is stunned. Link skills are Experienced Fighters, Turtle Schools, Solid Support, Brainiac's Courage, Tournament of Power, and Fierce Battle. Categories are Universe Survival Saga, Representatives Universe 7, Earthlings, and Battle of Wits. I love the fact that he needs to have an 18 with him to be like at his best.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's adorable.
I love it.
Couple goals.
Like seriously, everybody wants to talk about how Piccolo's the best dad. No. Krillin is the best dad, the best husband, the best everything in the series. Because you know why? He got no drama. He got no issues. You know, something comes up where he feels like he needs to do it. He has a conversation with his wife like a mature adult, and they come to a decision together. That right there, #couple goals.
Yeah,
exactly.
And honestly, for me, like, I don't know if this is blasphemy for some people. I'm more excited about this unit than I am the Blue Bros. I really am.
He's fantastic. I mean, his whole kit screams SBR viable. He's the if you didn't pull Goku and Vegeta, I mean not Goku and Vegeta, Goku and Frieza, the Rep 7, the 177 lead, you could use this guy.
Yeah.
Right? So
my soul is forever hurting. No, I'm kidding. I'm only teasing.
Sorry.
So is this actually like the very first like Dokkan Fest Krillin as well?
Well, he's not a Dokkan Fest.
Or am I just like years behind or something? Because
no, I think he is the first unit that's been featured on a Dokkan Fest banner that's a Krillin, but he is not a Dokkan Fest unit.
Yeah, he's a side.
Right.
You can pull him anytime.
So. But yeah, I do think that this is the first time we've had a Krillin featured on a banner with a Dokkan Fest unit.
The Lords for finally giving him that.
I know.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
if they wanted to keep giving us top tier free to play Krillin units, I wasn't going to complain. I love that int one from the Battlefield shop, and the Prime Battle Krillin is just ridiculous.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad that this game gives Krillin the love he deserves.
Yeah, exactly.
I still remember that day when freaking Prime Battle Krillin came out on JP, and both me and Alec were just like, "Yes, finally!"
Yep.
Something.
Alec and I will be doing that the day Garlic Jr. is finally introduced.
I think we all will at that.
Like,
I'll do the whole yeah.
Like I'm all on board for making the meme of LR Garlic Jr., you know? But like I don't even care if it's an LR. I don't care if it's a free.
Oh, I don't
unit.
either. I don't either. I just want Garlic Jr.
Garlic Jr. and Dr. Wheelo, and you know, just because we have all the other characters from all the other movies, it just feels wrong to not have those units.
Facts.
Just me.
Facts.
I'm weird like that.
Like look at it this way: we got Super Saiyan 4 Broly before Garlic Jr.
Dude, I love the fact that we went there. Like with like Super Saiyan 4 is my favorite form, but Heroes is not canon. I mean, as much canon as a movie can be, Garlic Jr. and Dr. Wheelo are more canon than Super Saiyan 4 Broly. Don't at me.
Hold on, wait.
Oh, he's gonna at me now. There you go. Okay, thank you. But yeah, I'm really impressed with this unit in and of itself. Like, just the attention to detail in the design, like the fact that he worked with 18 during the majority of the tournament until he got himself kicked out.
Yeah.
But this is a really good example of a unit that should be an unfeatured unit in a banner, in my opinion. Like he's really good, but he's not like, oh my god, so great.
Yeah, he's just like that wholesome unit that you hope to pull.
So, yeah, I mean, I like this design that with 18. It's just it kind of sucks with the categories he's in. You can only really run the Tech 18 with him. You know, because he's in USS, he's in Rep of 7, Earthlings in Battle of Wits. Let me double check Battle of Wits.
Agility 18, the free to play one.
She in that? Oh, she's in that one. Okay, so actually not bad. Well, yeah, because when we got him, we didn't have Battle of Wits, so I didn't remember that. All right, actually, no, that's better now. Because before I was like, you can only run them on USS and Rep 7, but you got the AGL one, you got the Tech one, the Waifu banner one, and then all the 18s are here. The Int and then the Strength. Oh, I take that back. Yeah. All right, it was much better now with the Battle of Wits.
Yeah, with Battle of Wits, much better.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, that's also another thing that I like when they do add categories. We like to complain about the quality of categories that get put out, like the units that are on there. But the more categories they add, the more chances that you have to make a unit better, even in a short window from their release, like the release of this character in June to December now.
Yeah.
So.
Fact.
So just before we jump into the all-out struggle banner itself and talk about how terrible it is, reminder that these banners are coming out in like 3 hours, 3-4 hours, something like that. So they are coming tonight.
Good luck, everyone.
Yep, best of luck to you. The all-out struggle category banner. Don't summon on
Yikes!
This. Don't summon on this. Like, how are you gonna go and have 5 featured tech units? Like, what is that?
I'm very sad. I can see the pool of LRs right now just screaming my name, and this banner's one of the worst. Well,
just don't. These down here.
Of course not.
These down here are more trapped than vented.
He
went there. Genshin reference.
Hey! Don't you be doing that right now. I'll be that guy.
Do it.
Summon on the banner.
No, don't summon on the banner. It's a bad idea.
Yeah, actually, don't listen to it. No. It's trash.
Okay.
But I will say, I kind of looked at the all-out struggle bit. This is definitely just a like super type like category. The only extremes are the extreme AGL LR Vegeta, Majin Vegeta, and the extreme tech EZA Majin Vegeta. That's it.
Really?
They're the only 2 extreme units on this.
Jeez.
It's so bad. Well, for extreme units, it's bad, but it's not a terrible.
They don't have all the units updated yet. Let me go back.
Fitting a rainbow, that tech feature go on now.
There we go. You're right. There are only 2 extreme units on the entire category.
Yeah,
and they're the same unit.
Majin Vegeta. Have fun with that.
I mean, it's not so bad. You're not going to be able to take him into like extreme class only Super Battle Road.
Well, it makes sense because all out struggle, villains are not going to an all-out struggle. If they even struggle a little bit, they're going to run away or find an underhanded tactic to win. So it makes sense that it's mainly super units, but only 2 extreme units.
Yeah.
That's sad.
So, just really quickly, I want to address a question brought up by Magic Maya in the chat about Topo and Dispo's EZA or Kale and Cleefla's EZA. People keep calling this part 1. The missions in game say this is a prelude. It doesn't say part 1 on the missions. So I'm anticipating that this is like the prologue, the intro, the countdown to the Christmas celebration. And then in part 1 of the Christmas celebration, we're going to get Jiren, and then we'll have the free-to-play Peppy Gals Extreme Z area. And then in part 2, we'll get the Tanabata banner. And then with that, we'll get Kale and Cleefla's EZA. Obviously, Topo and Dispo will come with Jiren like they did on JP. At least that's my thought on it. I have no proof to go with that. It's just what I'm thinking right now. What do you guys think about that?
If we go by that logic, clearly they didn't get ladies first because I'm upset. No, but it would make sense, I guess, especially with it being prelude. That they do part 1 as Jiren and then the Christmas celebration on around Christmas. It would just be weird because normally they would do the Dokkan Fest and then they would do the legendary summon with a step up banner. So I don't know, maybe I could see where that's the possibility.
But yeah, for everybody freaking out over on Twitter, yes, I do pay attention to all of you people freaking out on Twitter. We don't know whether or not Kale and Cleefla's EZA will come in December, but I'm 99% sure it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other logical place for them to really slot that EZA. I mean, but again, there's no evidence to back up that. It's just me talking out my butthole. So,
I mean, the thing is, it seems logical, that the Kale and Khalifa EZAs would come out in December, because why other reason do they have to hold it back? But we're talking logic. Akatsuki logic doesn't really go hand in hand, so
especially with global.
Throw your hands up and just be like, whatever, guys.
But when you do put those hands up, make sure you're not carrying torches and pitchforks, okay?
That's true.
That's all.
Got it.
A little factoid.
Okay.
Don't do that.
So we're all in agreement. Skip the shit out of this banner.
Yes.
It's terrible.
9 summon. No.
JMo, stop it.
Oh, none of my character ones are working. They redirected all of these. Let me fix
Aww.
that. Okay.
Sad, boy, sad.
All right. So, like I said, this the free-to-play EZA Peppy Gals units, the EZA is not actually coming for another week, but I don't see the point in going over the base form of the unit and then next week going over the EZA. At least this way, if we cover all the EZA forms, you know how to build the units in advance. So Rosie is going to be a special pose category key 3 stats 77% or int type key 3 stats 50%. She infinitely stacks her defense and causes supreme damage to the enemy and lowers defense on her super attack. Passive skill is attack and defense plus 80%. Special pose category allies key plus 2, attack and defense plus 22%. Attack plus 22% at the start of each turn and seals the enemy's super attack when there's an ally whose name includes Ribrianne or Kakunsa attacking in the same turn. Link skills are Battlefield Diva, Metamorphosis, The Innocence, Signature Pose, More Than Meets the Eye, Tournament of Power, and Shattering the Limit. Categories are Peppy Gals, Universe Survival Saga, Transformation Boost, Special Pose, and Space Traveling Warriors. Now, before we get into talking about Rosie, we're going to go look at Kakunsa really quick because they work hand in hand, and we'll talk about them as a set. So she is also Special Pose category key 3 stats 77, but she is an agility type key 3 stats 50 for her secondary lead. She infinitely raises her attack, causes supreme damage to the enemy, and lowers attack. Passive skill, attack and defense plus 80%. Special pose category, allies key plus 2 stats 22, or attack and defense 22%. An additional defense plus 22% at the start of each turn, and a high chance of stunning the attacked enemy when there's an ally whose name includes Ribrianne or Rosie attacking in the same turn. Link skills are Battlefield Diva, Metamorphosis, The Innocents, Signature Pose, More Than Meets the Eye, Tournament of Power, and Shattering the Limit. Categories are Peppy Gals, Universe Survival Saga, Transformation Boost, Special Pose, and Space Traveling Warriors. So as a set, I mean, obviously you want to use these ones and a Ribrianne together in some way, shape, or form. But like they do a lot with these kind of pair cards, one is just kind of the opposite of the other. Whereas Kakunsa is the attack focused one and Rosie is the defense focused one. It's a lot like what they did with Super Saiyan 4, the LR Super Saiyan 4s. You know, they're basically the same unit just with a different stat swapped out here and there.
Yeah.
That being said, because of the way that the meta works right now, I think Rosie is the better of the two units. Am I wrong in that assumption?
That's an interesting way to look at it. Because so Rosie raises defense infinitely, she stacks, but she lowers defense, the enemy's defense on super, while Kakunsa raises attack infinitely, but lowers the enemy's attack. So it depends on what you need. If you need more of the damage, Kakunsa would do it, but she also debuffs, which is pretty valuable for Super Battle Road. While Rosie, she stacks defense and can be the tank, but that's kind of all she does because lowering defense does nothing for us, right? So, what else is? Wait, hold on. Rosie also seals. Never mind, I take that back. Seals the attacked enemy's super attack when there is an ally. Okay, so she seals and Kakunsa stuns. Yeah.
Yes.
Sealing is great. Still take damage. I would rather stun and lower attack. So for Super Battle Road, I would prefer Kakunsa personally. I mean, I ran both of these. I did some showcases on them. They're fantastic, especially with the new Ribrianne. Well, the strength one that gets an easy A as well.
Yeah.
They're really good. Like the Peppy Gals is always going to be a good team. Just unfortunately, they'll never get an actual 150, 170 lead. But
stop it.
Hey, never say never, man.
If someday it happens, no, I'm sure it'll happen after we've pushed the meta to like 250.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this. I'll take it. I'll take it after that. Because then that'll just give me hope for a 250.
I mean, I could sit here, guys, and I could fawn over the fact that we have really awesome free-to-play units. You guys know I've said it for the 10 months we've been doing this show, 11 months we've been doing this show, that free-to-play units are just getting better and better every single time we get them.
Yeah.
I personally don't play a whole lot of gacha games, but I haven't experienced a gacha game as free-to-play friendly as Dokkan Battle. Now, I know you guys, all three of you probably have played more gachas than I have, so I mean, is that a good statement, or am I just kind of swinging in the dark here?
When it comes to like usable units, I would say it's pretty much up there. My personal thing is like, I'll still say Don Machi is still up there as a very free-to-play friendly because of how much Iris they'll give you for free and how many units they'll give you for free. When it comes to like summonable units as well, because they'll give you free stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be no special celebration. They're like, hey, have this. And it's like, okay. That was random, but I'll take it. However, like, I feel like with how popular Dokkan is, and like, I feel like it's way more far-reaching just because of how big Dragon Ball is in general. Like, this game does what it does well and keeps people playing and gives a lot of people options. So,
yeah. I mean, I played a lot of. I mean, people know who I am. I played a ton of gachas. When there's two ways to analyze free to play, right? So there's, do I get a lot of currency to summon for the gacha units? That's one way to look at it, and Danmachi is a good one. Like a Zero Lane, Destiny Child, some of these other ones, they just shower you with premium currency. Conversely, because they shower you with premium currency, usually the rates aren't very good. But, neither here or there. The other way to look at it is what Dokkan does is they don't necessarily give you a ton of premium currency, but they give you like viable options to use. But you would have to just grind them out. So like, Dokkan is very good with giving cards like Rosie and Kakunsa, and they give them easy A's to. They're not going to be the flashiest units. They're not going to hit the hardest or tank the best, but like they're very usable. for whatever you need them to do. They can get the job done. And if you're a free to play person, like does not spend a dime, you just want those so that you can actually enjoy the content of the game. Yeah, it might take you like 30 minutes to get through Infinite Dragon Ball History, but you can get it done with these units. So in that sense, like Dokkan is very free to play friendly, where they give you good options to use if you get shafted on a banner. But then the other flip side is, well, just give me a ton of Dragonstones so I can just brute force my way to get a unit.
Yeah, I kind of would compare. Well, not compare it, but in a sense, I don't know if you would consider Duel Links a gacha.
Yeah.
At some point, like
yeah, it still is still gacha.
Like when I first started Duel Links, I don't know if it's still the same, but in a sense, kind of like you said before, like with how they just shower you in currency, they definitely do that. Or at least when I was playing, they definitely were actively doing that in Duel Links, where it's like, in a sense, you can get their currency to open card packs, and you can go to the very end of every pack until you pulled that specific card that you wanted. And I don't think packs ever go away. So it's like you always have an option to go back to whatever packs are out, maybe at that time. Again, I could be wrong. I'm not sure how it works anymore because I haven't played it in the last like 3 years. But they were another game that they like they showered you like crazy for no reason in like summon currency. Like when I was playing, I would just always actively over 10k, even after spending like 10k. So it's just like, and that's the thing. Like when I compared it to Dokkan, like in terms of the gacha aspect, I feel like Duel Links for a while when I started was a lot more free to play friendly, because that's back in the dark days of Dokkan where you could not get it, where you had the option to never get an SSR.
Mm-hmm.
Duel Links, you can go into the entire pack until you pulled the card. You really, even now in Dokkan, you still can't do that. It's not like you go like, it's not like Genshin Impact, for example. I'll bring this comparison since Genshin is also a gacha game. It's not like, hey, you know, if you don't get a 5-star within your first like 80 summons, your 90th is guaranteed. It's not like Dokkan's gonna be like, hey, dude, you know, brand new LR banner just dropped. If you don't get it in 50 stones, you're guaranteed them in 100 and something. You know, like, I mean, that's just an irrational number, but it's just for example. Yeah. And it's like they have it set to where they even have soft pity in Genshin, where if you go first 50, your rates for the featured or your rates for a SSR 5-star go up. That's still not the case even in Dokkan. It's still, this is the flat rate for everything that we have. You know the rates. It's just when you summon, you have the ability to pull or not to pull what it is you're looking for. And even if you get featured, you know, even if you get animations that you're like, hey, I'm guaranteed a featured card, it's still so low to get a featured new unit unless you know for a fact you're getting it. Like Vegito Blue, for example. Like you can still get like double screen crack, at least from my experience. I don't know if it, like, I don't know how true it is. Is double screen crack guaranteed new featured card, or is it just
new Dokkan? Just a featured Dokkan Fest, or an LR on an LR pack.
Right. So, I mean, in that sense, I personally feel like Genshin is more lenient in that aspect, but at the same time, Dokkan arguably, when you first start out or with anything, they have way better sales. I will give Dokkan that. When they have good sales, you know, they're good. In comparison to Genshin, where you, like, your first time buy, I think on any pack, you're guaranteed double what you get, and then after that they limit you to how much of a bonus you get in currency. But it's always there, you know?
Yeah.
I honestly feel like if every month or every yearly, they would reset that back to where if you were to go back to like, okay, I'm going to buy this pack and I'm going to get double the same currency that I'm buying, you know, then maybe I would see them contesting with the way Dokkan is, like, in terms of buying currency. But again, for free-to-play aspect, you know, I feel like Dokkan's just always been that game to just adapt. Like, even from the old days, like, they always come out with fresh new content, or at least for the most part, you know, even at the free-to-play units, they've always just gotten better each time that they've released something. Mm-hmm. Like, you go back and you look at OGLR Goku, you look at Prime Battle Frieza, and then you compare them to, like, Krillin, Trunks, Vegeta, things like that. And then you also compare like Super Strikes to, like Rosie and Kakunza. Yeah. It's like, there's just no real comparison. Like, they started out as a game where it was like, okay, we're obviously going to draw traction because Dragon Ball's widely popular franchise throughout all of the entire world. And I feel like when they realized that they were getting so much traction, they were like, okay, let's change it up now that we have GSSRs. Like they've definitely made the leap to make this game more free-to-play friendly in terms of the free-to-play players, but also in a sense to the pay-to-play players having that GSSR able to happen. So it's not like you're going in thousands of dollars and not walking out with something, But I don't know. It's a really good question, though.
I just like units.
I mean, that's fair.
You want to dump currency in my lap? That's great. I'll go and play I'll go and play your slot machine. But if you want to give me something that I can actually work towards that I know I'm going to get, I think that's more motivation for me personally.
Yeah.
So. Plus, it gives them that's the thing, is that it will give them time to play hours. So it's like the more you play, the more you the more they're realizing, oh, people are playing because they're farming this up. So.
Well, then Genshin has no idea how much playtime I've given them in the last couple weeks.
Well, that's the thing, is like engagement and retention are massive. Like the more they can keep you in the casino, the more the chance it is that you're going to buy something.
Yep. Yeah. That's exactly how it works. Like that's why I'm surprised Dokkan doesn't give you like free stam at like noon and 6 o'clock and stuff, like some of these other gacha games. Because like these other games, they're like, oh, come by at noon. You got 2 hours to pick up like your 80 stam, and you're like, okay, cool. And the whole reason they do that is to get you in the game. And every time they know, okay, they'll log in at 12 o'clock, 6 p.m., 9 p.m. on clockwork because they want this free stamina. It's free for us, but the longer they keep you in the game, the higher chance that you have to swipe that credit card. Like that's just exactly how they work. So
Genshin, take notes.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you want some free resin today?
Dude, that would make the entire community happy.
Oh my god, free resin would turn the entire community up on its head. They'd be like, "What? This is the greatest thing ever."
I mean, look, I played enough gacha games. I could fix stuff left and right. I could tell you what you could do to like keep your player base happy. Because like you say, if you don't have a happy player base, then you just don't have people spending money.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So, if like Dokkan's a PvE oriented game. Those PvP games are the ones where people like to flex. If the whales can't flex on those free to play players, then the whales aren't going to be there. And then conversely, the free-to-play players are going to complain, "Oh my god, the whales are just kicking my ass in these PvP matches." Well, you gotta placate them, so you gotta give them something for free or whatever. You gotta make sure they stick around, because if you don't have the free-to-play players, the whales are just going to take off because they have no one to flex on. So
it's the Legends tightrope.
Yeah, that literally. Well, I'm just any PvP-oriented game, because I'm veering way off track, but with PvP gachas, the problem with it is there's always power creep. There's always power creep in every gacha game, but in PvP aspects, it gets super accelerated. Because great, you pulled a new unit, you're top tier for 2 weeks, and then the next 2 weeks, they drop a new unit that's either even more power crept or completely counters that. So then you have to go back in on that banner, but you just spent all your currency on this last unit who's now more or less useless. So now you got to swipe the credit card in order to, get more currency to summon for the new unit. So that's just the mentality. And the problem with that is if you're strictly free to play, you just got to accept that you're just the food, the fodder for the whales and the hardcore players. If you can accept that and then take whatever free currency or whatever they can get you to, the devs will keep you there. Then you understand your role and you're happy. But if you just I want to move up and then stuff like that, you can't. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Also, if you're free to play, take the time to thank your local whale, because they're the reason your game still exists.
That is true. I even said that yesterday myself. I was having a conversation with a friend like that. I was like, I don't understand why people get upset over those who spend money in games that they genuinely enjoy. They're the reason that you're still able to get the currency that you get as well at some point.
Yep.
Like, they contribute more to it, I feel, than free-to-play players, obviously. But at the same time, like, your playtime, their playtime, you guys probably spend about the same amount of time a day in your games, regardless. Like, I don't think a whale's just gonna be like, those like big Dokkan tubers, they make active content, so they're probably playing the game around the same time, or if not even longer than a free-to-play player does in a day anyways. So it's like they're still providing content, they're still trying to keep your spirits up so you can enjoy the game, find ways that you can still do things. Like, you have to take that step back and just be like, these guys aren't as bad as some people make them out to be. Like, they're the reason that you're, like you said, that their game still exists.
Mhm.
So thank you, Wales.
You're welcome.
So just really quickly, guys, the Rosie and Kakunsa come from a new stage added to the Magical Girl Fighters. So it'll be one stage with 2 levels of difficulty, so 2 Dragon Stones coming your way. And then, of course, you have to go back and farm up the 20 medals or whatever. 20 medals for each of them. So, which is on the previous stage right here. All in all, I think it's going to be pretty easy, especially with the fact that you can double dip your drop rates. Fill up on as many peppy gals that are in Universe Survival Saga as possible, and you won't have any issues making this farm go fast. Really quickly, going to burn through the other events that are coming up. A lot of these, I believe all of these are coming out tonight. So we've got the Dragon Ball Super Universe 6 Saga. Obviously, the important thing to note here is that you can farm up this Kaba. And there are, of course, medals you need for like LRK and Caulifla and the hits that come from this. So
I will still tell people to this day that Kaba is slept on. He's decent. Yeah, the tech one is decent.
Yeah, once you awaken him all the way, he's okay.
Yeah.
I love how everyone's saying decent. Alex just like, nah, he's okay.
Well, okay and decent are the same thing.
I know.
Basically.
I want a new one, but yeah.
So Assemble Warriors of Universe 6 story is coming back with 4 farmable units. You've got Hit, Salnel, and Purina. I always think I'm saying like a cat food name there. Champa and Vados, which, by the way, if you guys have recently pulled the unfeatured Vados, you can use this Vados to raise her super attack. So keep that in mind. Obviously, Universe 6 units as the drop rate. I was actually surprised that there's so few medals you have to farm in this stage. Like, you look, there's a total of 17 in the entire thing that you need to farm. Whereas down here, it's like 300, 400 some odd medals you need to farm from this story event. It's insane. But this is also the stage that gives you the once a day Universe 6 trials. Yes, you can use your keys to do these, but at least in this situation, you won't have to. It'll be available once a day while it's up.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm trying to keep my eyes open for like any good farming stuff because there are a few stages in here that have really good farming. Dragon Ball Super Universe Survival Saga, again, 4 units to farm up. It's an okay farm for Hercule statues and Sensu beans.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent, especially now that we have so many Universal Survival Saga units. And now that we're going to be getting, Blue Boys, if you pull Blue Boys and then you pull Jiren on top of that, that's a boost in percentage right there. It's also a good spot for training locations. I use it for training locations mainly and the Hercule statues. So.
And then, of course, there's the Kachi Kachin that comes from this, and they do refresh these Kais every time the shop comes back. So make sure you guys are farming up your like 40 or 50,000 of these Kachi Kachins that you need to get all your Kais. There's, of course, like the swords and all that other stuff in here that you can buy, but really the biggest important things is the Elder Kais. So
I still farm those, so yeah.
I was about to ask, if as a whale, do you still go in and do all these?
Yep, it's content, and now with link levels, like you can still get link levels out of this. It's not as good as running like a story stage, but if I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone, why not, right? So yeah, I definitely farm these as much as I can.
Awesome. Dragon Ball Super Universe Survival Saga Tournament of Power Commencement. This is where you can get Kale and Caulifla, and once they awaken into their Super Saiyan forms, they are actually really good free-to-play units. Again, you can do some Hercule statue farming here. Nothing super amazing, and of course you need like, I don't know, almost 200 medals from this stage if you want to get the medals for absolutely everyone and everything that you would need.
Preach.
I mean, yeah, the good thing about it is the Hercule statues, but it's not, yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's good.
Dragon Ball Super Universe Survival Saga Final Battle of the Tournament of Power. You can farm 17 and 18. They're both pretty decent for free-to-play units. That 18 can pair really well with the Krillin if you end up pulling him. As far as actual farms, I mean, you can do some sword farming here, but it's not phenomenal because you only get like one per. Same down here. You've got a chance to get silver medals, or you can get the gold Hercule statues. There are better places to get those farms. And of course, you only need like 50 medals from this stage, so this one's an easy one to get everything you need from.
Yeah.
Lone Warrior's Last Battle. This one is important because this Bardock that drops from here is required for the Prime Battle Frieza EZA.
Yes.
And he will need to be 100% in the hidden potential systems. You have to rainbow him. He doesn't have to be maxed out on super attack as far as like, once you EZA him, but you will have to have him at least rainbow in order to do that. Other units that drop from here are the Kid Vegeta, the Frieza, and that leotard wearing chilled guy. He seriously looks like a freaking Teletubby. Sorry.
Hey man,
you're not wrong.
I mean, I hate Chilled. Like, worst villain design in the entire franchise.
Oh, when I first saw him, my nickname for him was Leotarded Motherfucker.
Right?
Don't you want to hear him do his little?
No.
No, that isn't that the same. Doesn't he have like the same laugh as Frieza?
No.
Like in Super.
No, like Chilled.
Oh no, his is like more of the older Frieza.
Yeah, Chilled is like a yodel.
Yeah.
And Frieza is just like vicious
like Santa Claus.
Yeah. Right.
And then Chilled's like.
So so lots of medals to farm up in this one too, guys. Dude, I don't know, that's a lot of medals.
Do it.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
This,
come on, man.
this right here, this is the big important one for you guys who like to stock up on items. Yes, there are 4 farmable units here. Future 17, Future 18, Future Gohan, and Kid Trunks, Youth Trunks, whatever they call him. And they both awaken, the Gohan and the Trunks awaken, and then I believe the Trunks also EZAs. Good units all the way around. But what's really great about this stage is the farming. You guys want your Android 8s, so you can get 2 to 3 of them per run on stage 1 Z-Hard. You need your training items, go into stage 2. You need Hercule statues, you could do that in stage, level 9? And then, of course, these Bulmas in level 12. I mean, this is probably the best story event as far as farming up support and training items.
Yeah, I would definitely say when it comes to the support and trading items, this is definitely the one of those go-tos, especially with gravity chambers. Like, I love how good gravity chambers can be.
Yeah,
it's just go and do it. Just get them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, question for you, Nolar. I mean, I'm sure that you've probably farmed up the vast majority of these things, and you've gotten all the free-to-play units and everything. Do you ever actually stop and think about the number of actual medals that you farm from these stages?
No, because then it would make me a very sad boy to be like, God damn it. Yeah. No, I just look at it and be like, all right, I got to do another like 10, another 20 or 50 or whatever. All right, I'll get there. And then like, if you like look at it holistically, you take like the 3,000 like foot overview look, you're just like, what did I do? So I'd rather not see that.
Right. Like seriously going back and like, it just hit me right now going back and looking at these medal sum ups. Like seriously, if you did everything, you farmed up over 300 of these Gohan medals. Just the Gohan medals. 350 of the Android 18 or the 17s. I mean,
thankfully now it's easier though.
It is. It is. But it's just like we talk about how the community says there's really nothing to do. There's really nothing to do.
Always something. No.
I'm sorry.
There's always something to do.
Did you farm up your 350 Android 17 medals? You know, I mean, I get it. You don't always have something that's fun to do. You don't always have something that's exciting to do. But there's always a chore to do in this game.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, and then on top of that, you're looking at like right here's a great example. You can farm up super attacks for all of these units from this event.
Mhm.
Yep.
I've done that. I just gotta finish Future Gohan and I'm done.
Yeah. So, but guys, that brings us to the end of the news for this week. We've covered JP, we've covered everything that's currently going on Global and everything that is coming up on Global. As you guys know, we have our weekly Discord discussion, so we're going to move on to that. And of course, if you guys are in the chat, go ahead, feel free to throw out your thoughts here as well. So, with 1000 Day Goku getting his EZA here soon on Global, I decided to ask if, first off, is 1000 Day Goku a good reward for logging in 1000 days? But secondly, is it actually worth it to, you know, I don't even want to say worth it, but like, is the 2000 day restriction bad? Like for his EZA? Like for me personally, I think the 1000 days, because at 1000 days you're a little over 2 years, you're almost 3 years in, like
Yep.
two and a quarter years, something like that. And then 2000 days, you're looking at almost 5.5 years. You know.
Yep.
So first off, for a player that starts today,
you don't even know if the game's going to be around.
Do you know if the game's going to be there in 5.5 years? Like, take my account for example, and I started my newest account during the 4-year. I have not missed a single login day yet. Okay, I'm at 508 days as of today, which means I don't get my 1000 Day Goku until April 8th of 2022.
Jesus.
1 week before I turn 40. All right. And
That's a
then
good birthday present.
And then I won't be able to EZA that unit until January 3rd of 2025.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a lot to take in, honestly.
Like I get it, like the exclusivity of the unit is supposed to be like a nice little treasure reward or whatever, you know, and that's fine when he was 1000 Day Goku and he, you know, was just 1000 Day Goku. But what they did to 1000 Day Goku with his EZA has made him one of probably the most sought after free to play units in the game.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So I guess really my question is, should this unit's EZA be tied to the cumulative login, or should it just be an EZA that you can do regardless of if you have the unit, like most other EZAs are? So before I start scrolling through these, let's go ahead and go around the table here. JMo, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I get why they're trying to make it locked behind 2000 days. Like, again, it's for those players who spent all their time since the game started. And I even felt like when it first came around, you know, everyone was like, "Oh God, you know, you get this Goku for being in 1000 days, and it's crazy." And you know, with his EZA and everything else like that, I feel like, yeah, they did a good thing by locking him behind the 2000 days. It just feels like, again, for the average player, it's you know, I feel like it's too. I mean, even for the long-term players, this still feels relatively long, you know, to be waiting. Because, like, even for me, I think, I mean, I'm not that far off from it. I'm pretty sure I'm well over 1600 days active. So, I mean, you know, like, even for me, I still got ways before I even hit it, you know? I mean, if it was a thing that was available just for those who immediately got him, that would be better in my opinion. But it's like on the same coin, I could see why it is the way it is. It's just, you know, like I said before, for the longevity of the game, we don't know necessarily if the game will be around 5 years. We don't know if they're even going to shut the servers down at any point, you know, if they do eventually stop making content. You know, and I feel like, I mean, if that's the case, people are going to quit anyways. You know, the minute this game stops, if they leave the servers up but they just don't add anything new, you're going to see people leave, you know. So I mean, for those who've played, you know, or those who are just starting to play, they're never going to be able, like, if that does happen, they're never going to be able to experience this Goku whatsoever. And granted, I loved this Goku. Like, I haven't really used him much after getting him, but, you know, part of me still will eventually get back into using him at some point. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird topic to discuss overall, because I mean, there's always going to be mixed emotions.
Mm-hmm. And Nolar, you've got 1,000-day Goku, but you're still a couple hundred days away from getting his EZA, right?
Yeah, I think I'm at like 1560 or 70 today. So I've got more than a year out to get him. So yeah, it's a weird, touchy subject because, like, the thing is, they gave out the 1,000-day Goku on 1,000 day, and that was pretty cool. But I also thought that was not the right move, if that makes sense.
No, I agree. I felt the same way.
Yeah, because, like, what you're trying to do is reward the players for sticking with the game for so long, right? And it without, like, because I mean, the 1,000-day Goku when it came out, he wasn't like meta shattering, but he was still good, because, like, you would see him in World Tournament as a lead, because he was, what, I think 100% across 3-key, 100% across all boards, for any no category, no like typing, just everything. So, like, people would use him as a lead and put, you know, the Broly's and whatnot together, and that was pretty good. And then we got the category meta that shifted. So when he came out, he was good, but not meta shattering. I just thought that, like, if you wanted to reward your players for, you know, being with you for so long and make it somewhat exclusive, you just give them like a title, or you give them something else besides a card. Because now with EZAs, the 2,000 days, I had to wait another 1,000 days. You know, if I just started playing like a year and a half, like what would that be, like year 3? I would probably have, or even before year 3, I would probably have 1,000-day Goku now, but then have to wait another 1,000 days to EZA him. Is he going to be viable in like 2.5 years from now? You know what I mean? Like, is he going to be a card I even want to use? Like, yeah, he's a card you can use now, and that's really good for the people who played day 1. But
yeah,
to reward the rest of us, I don't think so. Like,
especially with power creep as well.
Yeah, exactly.
In mind, like, he has his EZA on JP, no?
Yeah, he does.
What is he like on JP in terms of, like?
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have him myself, but I used a friend's, and dude, he's fun. He's good. He's so good.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like gacha games, their power creep's inevitable. So by the time I get him in a year, like 400 plus days from now, is he going to be usable? Like, I don't know. So, and that's me, who's like, I've been, you know, I'm at 1,500 days. It's for those who are just at like day 350, like almost a year for them. You know, is this even attainable? So it should have been more like they get an exclusive title, you know, kind of what Legends does. They give people like titles and stuff. So, like, sure, give them a title, show that, like, hey, I've been playing this game for X amount of time, or whatever the case may be. But they should have just released 1,000-day Goku as a card for, you know, kind of like anniversary cards. They're like trophy cards. But the 1,000-day Goku with his EZA is actually a very, very good, like, usable card, at least right now. So, yeah, I just sum it up. It's good that you get his EZA. Otherwise, it's just a card rotting in your box. But at the same time, it's just like, for a good chunk of the people, it's just going to be out of their reach for a long time, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
What about you, Ty? What are your thoughts?
So, kind of going off of Nolar a little bit. I would have liked to see it as, like, you know, like this campaign, like, we're reaching 1,000 days, release the Goku to everybody. You guys can, you know, grab it in some way, shape, or form, like in a like strong event that's, or even like, you know, Fighting Legend Goku type of banner type thing. You know, you do that, you get tickets every week, and then you have a chance to get the card or something like that. And then for those users, you know, give like a, you know, wallpaper background, since we're doing wallpapers now, or give like super special like stuff that has nothing to do with just card. But I feel like time gating in this way when it comes to getting the 1,000-day Goku, which I just got mine like last month. I'm happy about that. But now I gotta wait another like 950 plus days to get, you know, the EZA medals to EZA this unit that in 1,000 days is probably going to be irrelevant. No offense to the card. I don't think any unit is considered irrelevant, but for the game meta that we're going towards, I really think that that's what's going to happen, and nobody's going to be using the card. So I agree. I think that this kind of model to it was a very bad approach. We could have done something different.
Yeah.
You know, but it is what it is. It's one of those things where they already did it. I don't think they can really change that at this point.
Yeah. A good point that my friend brought up to me yesterday when I was talking with him, it kind of goes back to older crossovers. Like, my friend feels like he would enjoy it at some point where they would, like for anniversaries, for example, have like you know how we have like the wish strips or whatever? Obviously not during anniversaries, but like just in general, if they gave us like a wish strip for the older anniversary cards, like the 1 year anniversary Goku, the 2 year, the 3 year, the crossover Bye Guys Goku, like just as a collector's standpoint, it would be nice to see them bring that back just for the hell of it. Like as something to give some, like as a way to put something in someone's box. Like obviously, yeah, they're treasure for those who played, you know, from back then, but still being able to have those cards. Because I mean, like players like me, and like I'm assuming I'm gonna, you know, throw Nolar out there, you know, 1,500 days. Like we understand that, you know, like we've been playing since year one. You know, we've gotten to year one Goku, we've gotten to year two Goku, and even for me, like I never got to rainbow the Bye Guys Goku from the One Piece crossover. I still wish at some point they won't, like I don't want them to bring the crossover back because it's likely to never happen. If they just one day just said, you know what, screw it, dude, let's just throw him in a random, like let's just throw a random ticket out there and just, you can purchase this Goku for no reason. You know, he's obviously not good, but it would mean something to me because I would be able to buy the dupads for him, like enough to let us buy 5 of those. So for people who would want to rainbow, because I rainbow the dumbest cards, I rainbowed every Super Strike in the game. Like I would like to rainbow the 1 year Goku and so on and so forth. But I feel like they could have done that with this card too. Like maybe at like 500 days, you had an opportunity to get a ticket, and then, you know, maybe like eventually that'll go towards whenever they decide to release him in the Babish treasure for whatever reason, you know? I feel like they could change that around. This way people aren't waiting 1,000 days just to get the card first and foremost. So he's obviously, you're able to 100%. I don't even remember how you got, like, do they give you all in?
Yeah, you
give
get all 5.
you enough to, you get all 5, right? Just for being.
Just for logging in.
Okay.
Yep. Which is, the saddest point is when you see someone get the 1,000-day Goku and you see SA5.
Oh, God.
Like, oh, yeah, no.
Oh,
No. Did you do what I think you did?
I feel bad enough when I look at my treasure shop and I see that I still have one more copy of free-to-play Vegito that I won't be able to buy because I used my Supreme Kai treasures or whatever the wrong way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did
That's
that.
how I feel about 18 Kimono.
I did that for B-Pan. I can't LR the second half to get her to SA20 without using guys.
Oh.
Oh no,
it's worth it. Oh, no. She's good.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I see your point that like if they just made them kind of like an exclusive thing you can get once in a while, like because like the year 1, 2, 3, 4 Gokus, you could grab those at the anniversaries with the coins, right? So like if they just made it that way where you have one time in the year to get it and you need to meet like certain requirements. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't want to be time gated. More so, I would like to be like rank gated. So if you were rank 500, like you're invested in the game. Okay, now you have the opportunity to buy it instead of you've been playing for 400 days. Here you go. You know,
like 500, and you assume that like well, not you obviously, but like I'm gonna say I will assume it like for those people who probably are ranked 500, there's a high chance that they've been playing for 500 days. You collectively add that up as 1,000. So I mean, that makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I don't think they're gonna do that now, but
No, it's too late. Yeah, they had a window and it's gone. And
yeah,
I mean, they started to implement this thing, and I mean, it makes sense. Again, you want to reward and their players with exclusive things because, hey, man, you log in 1,000 days into something. Like, I don't think I've ever played a game for 1,000 days. Like, playing time. Like, I don't think I've ever done that. And Dokkan would be the first one I could think of. And so, yeah, you want to reward your players, but I don't know. It just feels weird. But on the flip side, to play devil's advocate, gacha games are known for collabs and stuff like that. They only run once because they want to instill FOMO, which is fear of missing out. So you're like, oh my god, I want to go in on this collab with Demon Slayer and something. So I gotta play now, and I gotta get that unit because what if they never comes back and there's no opportunity? I gotta get it now. So nowadays we get a lot of reruns and stuff like that. So the FOMO thing kind of falls off the wayside, but it's still pretty prevalent in a lot of games where they're just like one time only. So you got to play now, go get it. And for Dokkan, this is their version of it where it's like, well, you want that sweet 1,000-day Goku? You got to play 1,000 days, log in 1,000 days. It's like you're time gated. You got to do it. You want to easy AM and use them? Well, play another 1,000 days, dude. Like,
And I think that's really where I draw my issue at it. Like, I'm fine with it being 1,000 days to log in, like 2.5 years or whatever, 2 3/4 years, almost 3 years, whatever. That's fine. I mean, but when you start talking about 5.5 years, the average gacha game, does it last 5.5 years?
No, they don't even last 2.5 years. Usually, it's usually 2 years. That's like, So the fact that 1,000 days, even 1,000 days, seems a little far fetched because, most gacha games end in 2 years. So you're like, they don't even make 1,000 days. But here, you're like, the first step is to get there. And like you said, to be fair, it's Dragon Ball IP. As long as this thing still prints money, and it's still printing money, it'll be around. Oh, yeah. But again, the daunting list. If I just started playing again, like today, and you told me I have to wait 5.5 years to get this unit, I'd be like, you know what? I'm done. Like I'm not. Right. Because I'm a collector at heart. Like I assume a bunch of you guys are. And it's like,
oh yeah, of course.
I'm not gonna get that unit for 5.5 years. Like, F off, dude. I just want it now.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they really should have done something different for the EZA itself than making it another 1,000 days. I don't know if it could have just been an event that anyone can do, or if it's like maybe it's something where you've hit your 1,000-day mark and now you can do this stage that nobody else can do, and you have to beat it in under a certain amount of time or with a certain restricted team, or something kind of like easy area or whatever, but not an easy area because easy areas kind of suck.
Yeah, that's suck. Well, what they could have done is what they did with Ginyu, right? With the Ginyu Force, just make missions. Literally missions. Use 1,000-day Goku on like 100 story stages. Use 1,000-day Goku on 5 different, or like on every category for, again, on the LGE, or like just make me do something. Like, that's content, right? Like, hey, take this unit into every like viable Super Battle Road stage and win. That's it. And then you get 1 medal to EZA him, or 5 medals, or whatever the case may be. So it's just like, take the unit on a world tour of all the content in the game, and here are your medals to EZA him. That would have been the easiest way to do it.
Even if it was clear 1,000 events.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter which one it is. Doesn't matter if it's cost you stamina, doesn't cost you stamina. Clear events 1,000 times to EZA your 1,000-day Goku. I think that would be better than log in for 1,000 days, just because you're encouraging engagement at that point.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's what
you have to log in.
Playtime,
you have to log in, every day for 5.5 years. But if all you do is log in to get your login bonus, so you can hit your 1,000-day Goku's EZA in 2,000 days.
Are you engaging with the content?
Exactly. But let's get in and see what the folks in Discord said. Ancient, first up, says, I think EZA should have just been an event only available once you hit login day 1,000 and obtain the LR. Waiting an additional 1,000 days just for an EZA is not great for new players or current players who won't see it until power creep makes it mediocre by the time you get the medals.
Yep.
Namor, when I read through this earlier, I was kind of surprised. He took the other route. He's like, he thinks the whole thing's completely fair. If you use this LR, you'd see how disgustingly broken he is, but most importantly, it's a trophy card that should be hard to get, but not mandatory to beat any events. Also, shout out to Test and Nolar. So, I mean, I could see it like the exclusivity mindset of it. Like, you know, I don't want everyone to have this because it's my special little toy. I mean, I get it. I do. But at the same time, it's like, if I'm a developer of a game and I know less than 1% of my player base is going to use something that I designed, what the hell's the point?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've got literally millions of people playing this game and a couple thousand people that have this unit easy aid.
Yeah.
You know, Tyranda says he shares the same opinion as Ancient. The event could be a special stage added to the extermination plan Easy A or Easy Area, or a new event on its own. Akatsuki should have just kept the trend of giving out cards at specific login days instead of forcing players to log in another 1,000 days for the Easy A medals. By the time a considerable percentage of the player base has the LR, Easy 8 or not, the card won't be relevant against the meta. And then he goes on to talk about the passive skill. So attack and defense plus 77% plus an additional key plus 1, attack and defense, and chance of performing a critical hit plus 7%. Recovers 7,777 hit points per key sphere obtained, plus an additional 10,000 per key sphere obtained plus an additional defense 1,000 per key sphere obtained for 1,000 turns from the start of turn, plus an additional attack plus 2,000 per key sphere obtained for 2,000 turns from the start of turn. And then, of course, referencing Talon, he says, why does this look like something that came from Team A? He is pretty busted, I am going to say. Like, hands down, the best free-to-play unit in the game.
Yes, 100%.
But if it takes you almost 6 years to get the unit, he might as well be, right?
Yeah, that's true. To justify it, you know, there's got to be a barrier to entry, right? And the barrier to entry is 5.5 years of your life. So,
Akatsuki says, I think him and his Easy A being a login requirement is fine. I don't even use the 1,000-day Goku as he is right now. Even if I had him Easy 8 in Rainbow, I more likely would only use him in maybe Battlefield. I don't know, Akatsu. I'm pretty sure I would take him everywhere. Pure Saiyans, Goku family, Super Strength.
all that stuff, yeah.
Trevor, shout out to Trevor. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to be here for this episode. He says, login rewards are great. Having an amazing unit be available after so many days shows you care about the community and their dedication to the game. I'll never be able to get this unit's Easy A, unfortunately, and that sucks. And it sucks for a large portion of the community that they didn't start on day one or even the first 2 years of the game existing. Seems a bit unfair, but I understand where they're coming from and respect their decision regardless if the unit is actually good or not. I can agree with that. I mean, it's a little bit of a fence-sitting idea for me. Like, yeah, it's cool that it's a login reward, but it sucks that we can't get it. Like, you kind of...
Yeah, I mean, even for the long-term players, they're still, like, aching for it, you know?
Yep.
It's still like pulling teeth. Like, you spend 2.5 years just to get the unit, and you're like, okay, let's go 2.5 more. I mean, granted, like, not thinking about it, you know, for all, like, let's take this year, for example. To me, even with all the COVID stuff, even with, you know, the politics, blah, blah, blah. Not to get into any of that. Without thinking about all of that, this year kind of blew past, you know? Or at least for me, it did. Like, I almost felt like to me, it literally just felt like it was, like, to me, March, and now it's already December, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, time really just kind of flew by without me really thinking about, you know, oh, it's this, you know, this is how many days, you know, just in this year I've put into Dokkan. So, I mean, like, in that aspect, sometimes you don't even really notice that time, but at the same time, when it's like, now you're starting to think about it, and you're just like, okay, yeah, now I'm actually, like, doing my research and counting how many days I have left, and you're just like, damn, this is a long fucking time.
Yeah.
But
So we jump in here. We have a little back and forth between Namor and Tyrant to talk about his viability. Thanks, Clyde. I appreciate you helping us out there.
Heck yeah, Clyde. Good job, bro.
Jesus, Drake. So Drake says he would only wait 2,000 days for this unit, and he decided to put my face on 1,000 Day Goku's body because, why not?
That's Drake for you.
Anime Monkey says they should have either made his EZA obtainable similar to B-Pan's LR Awakening or a raid style like what they did with the GT Universe Spirit Bomb Goku EZA. Just make 1,500 days or update the 1,000 day reward to EZA medals and the Goku. I would be down if it was some sort of like EZA raid type of situation. Like
Yeah.
Like literally anything that makes us play the game.
Yep.
I didn't even EZA the GT Spirit Bomb Goku.
You don't. I don't think you can EZA him, can you? Well, no, you
Not
do.
anymore.
You base off of that one stage he was in, right?
Is that where? I can't remember.
I don't even remember.
I don't even remember. What was
Didn't you have to like unlock something during one of the anniversaries to even remotely get?
We have access to the internet. Let's ask.
I don't even know if I've ever did that. If that's the case.
So.
Like I have the unit, I just have no medals for him whatsoever. I mean, at this point, I haven't really looked into where to get him either. But
he was from the Dark Star Dragon Ball thing.
The event. Once you opened up the event, that opened up you finished the event, it opened up the raid, and you just farmed the raid. I think.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've ever finished
the
the thing to unlock this.
Yeah, you did. You did the first 10 stages to get the character, and then you did up to stage 40 to get the medals, and then you could get more copies of the character up to stage 50, and then after that, beyond there, it was up to stage 100. You could get a bunch of potential orbs, and then beyond that, you get the training item for the shirts. But yeah, I remember doing this one. I got to like 102, 103, something like that.
I don't think I've ever gotten this unlocked a day in my life.
Right.
So I don't even know if I can EZA him anymore at this point because I don't think it's ever made a return since its release.
Don't think this event has ever come back.
So yeah, I'm lucky. I'm lucked out on that one. So Akatsuki, bring it back at some point.
No doubt.
I mean, like, what? Okay, if I was designing the game, I would make a monthly raid and make that its own event where it has its own currency because Dokkan loves all its currency. So make its own currency and use that to EZA specific units, like free to play units instead of the easy area. And that way, it's like once you clear the stage like up to 100, you have enough currency to buy the medals. And then if you wanted to like contribute more and unlock more rewards for the whole community, you go ahead and do that. And I would farm my ass off that. I'd go to 999. Well, I had the time, but like that would be an easy way to do it. So it's like a monthly thing, and you just wouldn't miss out because it'd just be currency that can be converted to specific medals as needed. So that's one design path I would have chosen for something like this. But again, log in another 2.5 years.
Rip, man.
So then Anime Monkey also added do 7 stages with specific missions, then unlock the raid, then you have to do 50 stages of the EZA. I mean, there's a number of different ways that we could make this 1,000 day or 2,000 day EZA Goku be better.
Like run an event 1,000 times. Like I honestly think that was the best one. Like I don't know, to me it makes the most sense because at that point it's almost like that's trying to keep you playing the game, which is
that's the point.
Literally what it is. Yeah, it's the whole point is to actively play the game. Like you could probably cram that down into a day if you really tried hard enough.
Oh yeah, dude. I would just sit there and run that that 4 stamina stupid training against Goku event over and over again.
Yeah.
Not to mention I can always use the Gregory medals. But so that wraps things up for us as far as everything we had planned. Of course, we do have our Q&A for you guys here in the chat. If you have any questions for the panelists or for Nolar, we're going to sit here for a couple minutes. We'll take those questions, answer them. We are pushing the 2.5 hour mark, so I don't want to keep people too late. It is kind of a late show for us, but
yeah, dude, I honestly felt like it was
This is
almost like a
morning for
4. Like I say, like how time flew for me in 2020. This actually felt like 4 hours.
me.
Well, I'm glad you're not having any fun, JMO.
I never said I wasn't having fun. I had a lot of fun.
So
He meant it in the nicest way possible.
Yeah, no, like it felt like a long 4 hours, and it's only been less than 2.5. That's not a lot of time with a guy like Nolar.
Kenny McGee says, "How many red coins does everyone have at this point in time?" Nolar, you can
None.
go last because you're gonna have the most.
Yeah.
I think I'm at 480 right now.
I'm checking mine right now.
I'm not even gonna check mine, so I'll just say it while we wait on Tystra. I'm like 160.
I'm at 735.
Let's go.
How many thousands, Nolar?
How about, okay, before I tell you, take a guess. Why don't you guys take a guess, all three of you? So
13,480.
2, 3, okay, 40, and then JMO?
I'll wait. What did Alex say?
13,480.
All right, 13,490.
I thought you were gonna do 481 and play some Prices Right shit with me.
So I'm gonna go with 15,370.
15,370. Okay. You guys are all off severely. I'll tell you and I'll tweet it so you guys can see. 24,530.
Oh,
That was the
24,000.
closest.
Wow.
What do I win?
Price is Right rules. Tystra wins.
Yeah.
That is true.
That is
Play the
true.
music. What do I get next?
Oh.
At least he didn't go over.
Yep.
Yep.
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
Okay, let's see here. Tiggle Biddy says, Nolar, how likely is it we'll see LR Blue Bros on the 6-year banner?
Probably not, because it's a dual Dokkan Fest, and they usually feature dual Dokkan Fest units and not like, because the Blue Boys is just a single Dokkan Fest.
Yep.
Yeah, and those will just show up randomly. Like it'll go probably like same day, TestDOBA again next year, and then like something else. So probably not 6-year. Probably same day is when the next time you'll see them back.
So I think on 6-year we're probably gonna see. Isn't that when Boo Tanks and
Yep.
yeah,
And Vegito,
the
Vegito?
Strength Vegito come back? Yeah, that'll be when they come back. Dragonson wants to know, why didn't you wake me up? Because you need your beauty sleep. Anime Monkey says, Nolar, co-op raid grind tonight for Go Tanks if you didn't Zenkai him yet?
Maybe. I'm gonna be hanging out with the 5-9 guys in a little bit, and I don't want to promote another stream, but the guy
No, feel free, dude.
Talon's streaming Destiny, and I'll probably take a little break before I hop in and chat. And if you want to grind, let me know then, and I'll grind with you.
Yeah, dude. The Global Gang podcast exists for shameless promotion. Like that's half the reason why we do this.
Got it.
It's all about the community for us. Like if you have something you want to promote, feel free. Like even if I'm just streaming the game and you just stop in and you want to, chit chat and talk about some project you have going on, feel free.
Do we not have our own like GGP thing? Is it Linktree ?
Linktree. It's I think it's if you put ! Discord, it'll bring up the Discord and the Linktree.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
There we go.
Talk about other shameless promotion. If you guys have not already picked up your Global Gang podcast merch, there is still a merch store that exists.
Hey, in time for the holidays, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you could check out my Twitter for a shot of that coffee cup. Went up this morning. Actually, that's the old coffee cup. There's a new coffee cup design. It's very similar, but it's different.
Yeah.
I may have to somehow bother Talon and be like, hey, man, you play Destiny? I play Destiny.
You've only got what,
all
like 11
Destiny.
and a half hours that separate the two of you?
I mean, to be fair, I work graveyard, so
This is true, you do. You'd actually be able to work
Yeah.
that out.
So
Let's see here. What would you like to have for the 6th anniversary or download celebration? Kenny McGee, what would you like to have for the 6th year anniversary or download celebration? Don't we already know what's coming for 6 year?
Yeah, it's UI Goku.
And something else, most likely Evolution Vegeta.
Probably, yeah, because the anniversaries are usually super types, except for the first year, but that's first year. And then usually for download, it's super and extreme. So if you're going super and extreme, that's when I would like to have the LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta combining into Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and then probably a Sin Shenron transforming into Omega.
Yes, please.
That's what I like.
I'm with him on this one.
Yeah, that's for download or worldwide celebration. For 6th year, yeah, probably it's going to be UI Goku and Blue Evolution Vegeta.
Makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Do we have anything to expect for the New Year's guaranteed step-up banner? Just that there will be one, and it'll most likely be 3 rotations.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to it. Did they let you do the rotation 2 times through?
3 times.
Last time? Oh, 3 times through.
Yep,
oh,
3 times through last time. And then I think it went up to the anniversary as far as the LR units, so we should see LR Rose and the Broly Chile Lemo on the step-ups.
Please.
So if it holds like it did last year. I love how you say it's her and it's really them.
I don't care about Limo or Broly.
Right,
I'm just putting it out there.
I know.
I just want
water.
Broccoli, just give it up. It's all over.
Drake, don't be too proud. We've already had a nut button at least once in this episode.
Yeah, we did.
Let's see here. Cool Blaine says, do you think Garesh's possible prediction of Strength Kefla being on the SSB Duo banner could become true?
When did she debut?
Kefla, she was just a few months ago for us, and then just like a month or 2 longer for you guys. Let me look her up.
She was June for us, I think. And she came. Did she come back?
May 29th for you guys and August 11th for us.
August? That seems like enough time. It could happen.
If they put STR Kefla on here, I'm summoning.
Yeah, it could happen. I just wouldn't put more than like 20 or 30% on it, though.
I'm just saying, it becomes an instant summon for me. And then you take out the transforming boys, then I'll be extremely happy.
Yeah, if Kefla's on that banner, that's a pretty good banner to go in on, for sure. Because she's still a good unit. It's just rapid growth is okay. Whatever. I don't want to talk about rapid growth.
I just want it for Peppy Gals. That's it, and then I'll be okay. I'll be like, all right, I'm done. We're good.
Yeah. So
my nut button's not working, so
there you go. Okay. Pachi-san says, for Easy A Spirit Bomb Goku free to play, how about an Easy A event where you can and have to use Prime Battle LRs only? So you can do that immediately when you get Goku LR from 1 year without making it too long for players to wait another.
Mid to veteran players to wait another year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd be okay with that. Again, anything that makes it so you're playing the game for me, I think is a good call.
Yeah, no, I totally agree on that.
I was like, in the back of my mind, I was like, they could have done what they did for the LR androids, which is like farm every single event ever in the game up to this 2000 game.
Right. I do that.
I mean, like, that's still content, right? You still got to farm. So.
Yep. Let's see here. Cool Blaine wants to know when we're getting Kalen Khalifa's Easy A. I am 99% sure it's happening before the end of the calendar year.
I mean, it's got to at this point. Like it's got to be like at the final bit of like, Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it wouldn't make like this celebration specifically makes sense for them to introduce them in here, unless now I don't know. Did JP get an Easy A during the physical Frieza celebration?
Wasn't that Super 7? No, was that? Maybe that wasn't Super 17. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Well, I mean, if it was 17 or if it was Broly, we've already gotten both of those, so I guess they could slot them in there. So maybe it'll be January before we see them. But
Kid Buu? Wasn't it Kid Buu? In Kid Buu?
Kid Buu? Yeah, I think you're right. Kid Buu.
Yeah, maybe it was. Which is, he's a fantastic EZA. Yeah, but the thing is, like, this is all themed. Again, logically speaking, you're in TOP now, right? So it makes sense to drop some TOP EZAs, right? So Kale and Khalifa would make sense, but again, Akasi, logical, not necessarily work.
All right, guys. So we're going to call it there for questions. I do want to really quickly make sure that I get all of our shout outs because you guys know how terrible I am about remembering to do these at the end of the show. So King SQ, thank you for the follow. Blade Malcolm 30, Pachi-san, Shadow by 27, Devi Plays 1, all with follows. Vicious Panda YT with 30 bits. Galinord and Vegito Blue Yosha with the follows. Silver 10 gave us a host. Pexarion. I'm so terrible with names, guys. I'm sorry. Thank you for the follow. Anime Monkey with the 15 bits. The Gold Jack Wagon, Havoc Itachi, both followed. Zertz with the host. Tystra with the raid. Ancient with the host. And that catches us up for everything for today. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Hey, I didn't forget one this week. Yay, you don't get to put that on the bingo card.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Thankfully, I don't have to put that on the bingo card.
So, wrapping things up, guys. Again, you make sure you go and follow Nolar on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see. Next
also,
week's
thank
episode.
you for the follow, Nolar.
Yes, thank you for the follow. Let's see here. Next week's episode will be Wednesday, December 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern. That is 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. And our guest will be Social Fire. This will be her first time returning to the channel. Her first time solo on the channel. Last time was back in April with Jinro.
Mhm.
So, you guys have any other things you want to promote before we take off here? Any streams, JMO? You want to talk about your schedule that never changes?
Yeah, exactly. Tomorrow, even though I always say I stream at noon, 10:30, because I'm weird like that, where I say it's noon, but it's never noon. Probably Genshin. I got a couple of requests where people want to try to do like Among Us or something. So if I finish Genshin or if I finish everything I have to set out to do tomorrow, I might try to open up Among Us and play again. So that'll be open for anyone who wants to join. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but we'll see. And other things to promote. I don't think there is any other than just me giving thanks to Nolar for being here. You've been an amazing guest, and on my behalf as well as the Global Gang, we thank you so much for being on. Also, I did guide the raid to 5-9 Gaming as well. So.
All right, got you.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Tystra, anything you want to shout out or promote really quick?
So obviously, we got a video that me and you are working on. We're doing it Saturday, right?
Yep, it'll come out on Monday. It'll be the next episode of Limited Battle Road. Monday at 6 p.m. Central.
So Monday, guys, watch out for that. We got that coming out. It's gonna be a fun one, that's for sure. I can't wait. And then obviously Sunday we're doing 1 p.m. Eastern for Jackbox.
1 p.m. Eastern for Jackbox, so noon Central. Yep.
Yes. So I'm gonna try to be there. I might be passed out a little bit, so I'm gonna try and be there right on time. So but yeah, outside of that, guys, my normal stream days are usually Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. Usually starting around, I would say 3 p.m. Eastern anyway. We're going to be hitting up some Genshin this week, maybe some Among Us as well as some Dokkan. And then another one, Phasmophobia, because I know that a lot of people like watching me scream like uncontrollably.
Facts.
I don't understand
So-
the fascination with that game.
It's
You're
fun
a-
to piss my pants,
You're a
okay?
ghost hunter, dude. Come on.
I get
Isn't
to
that
hunt little
something
ghosty
you wanna
ones.
be? No, I'm kidding.
Maybe it's my old man shining through. I don't know.
Dude, I watch a lot of paranormal movies. I would love to play Phasmophobia at some point. It actually came out on my birthday too. Fun fact.
I just love when the ghosts come up to me and just scream ooh woo in my
Hello.
ear.
Hey. then you just hear
I'm like-
Tystra shoot. Jesus Christ!
Every time, dude. No matter what, because I'll just be like, "Oh, I'm not doing anything. I'm not even near it," and then he's just like, "Hey," and I'm like, "God damn it!" Or it's my buddy Benji doing it just to tick me off. But yeah, a lot of streaming this weekend, hopefully. So yeah.
And then Nolar, you want to do some quick plugs for yourself, your channel, 59 Gaming?
Yeah, so if you want to watch JP Dokkan and get my ideas and thoughts on stuff, by all means, I'm on YouTube. But trying to get back to uploading daily. Just been busy, the end of the year kind of stuff. And of course, the new endeavor, which I mentioned earlier, which is 59 Gaming. It's me, Talon, Brad, Nas, Garesh, Sunblade, plus 40 other content creators. We're just in a whole group trying to bring other things besides Dokkan Legends. We still cover it, but we have the ITOP, the International Tournament of Power. I don't know if you guys been following, but that's been kind of fun. The next match should be out tomorrow, I think, and that's me versus Tiger.
I'm sorry, Tiger.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love Tiger, but I'm sorry.
Tiger's a great dude, but when when the draw was like, "Oh, you're facing Nolar," I was like, "Dude, my bad." So either way, it's been fun. The JP versus Global kind of thing, just ribbing on that, and then we're gonna have something similar. I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. Something similar go up with Legends. So if you like Legends competitive matches against content creators, that's gonna be something we're gonna be sneak peeking. Of course, tomorrow is Grand Cross podcast. So yeah, it's just lots of things in the works, and we're just really happy that we got the support that we have so far. And if you guys want to see something on PC gaming, consoles, anything else, we're gonna start expanding out more and hopefully rival something akin to like Kotaku and IGN at that point. So that's the goal.
Yeah, I always thought you guys were just trying to make the next generation of G4 at this point.
And more or less, that's the plan. So lots of little steps to get there, but we're getting it done, and we're really happy with the support. And if you guys check out our streams, we're pretty much streaming. I mean, the goal is to get basically a 24-hour stream on our channel with different content creators. So whatever you're into, give us a follow. I'm sure there's something you'll find that you'll like. So that's all I'm gonna plug.
If you ever need someone to cover, horribly mismanaged MMOs, I'm your Fallout 76 guy.
Wow. Okay.
I love Fallout 76. Like, unashamedly love it.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good.
Someone proud to say that. That's good. That's good to hear.
All right. So really quickly for me, guys, tomorrow at 3:30 Central Time, I will be streaming right here on all three platforms, Genshin Impact with TrevorIsanguard. Sunday at noon Central Time, we've got Jackbox, which is a great game because anybody can join in so long as you have access to a web browser. Like literally anybody can play. I stream the game out. There's a code. You enter the code. Even if you're not one of the active players, you can almost always join the game as a member of the audience and continue to play along. So it's a great game for streaming. I invite everybody to come along and to join us for that. Limited Battle Road Episode 5 will be Tystra versus myself. Monday at 6 p.m. Central. And then by that point in time, I'll have figured out what I'm doing next week and have posted it on Twitter and probably Facebook as well. So, again, thank you, Nolar, for joining us. We're going to send Twitch over to 59 Gaming. They are playing Destiny. I believe you said it was Talon who's running the show over there right now.
Talon's up right now.
So you guys go over there and give him a hashtag GGP love, because that just seems like a thing we should do.
That needs to be an emote at some point.
At some point,
Yeah.
yes.
We gotta start brainstorming.
Start brainstorming. So you guys have a great night. We will see you next week. Again, our guest will be Social Fire, and the episode will be Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. For the rest of the gang, I am Alec Hunter. We are signing out.